Welcome to the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona. Tonight, the NFL on TNT comes to you from Sun Devil Stadium, where a large crowd is gathering for the NFC matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Phoenix Cardinals. Hello again, everybody. I'm Skip Carey, along with Pat Hayden. Two interesting teams here. A lot expected out of Dallas this year, but they're 1-2 in the early going. The Cardinals have been a surprise. They're 2-1. Both teams come into this game in a bad mood. They got hammered last week. Both of them got shut out, and a real sense of urgency surrounds the game for both teams.
Well, you're right, Skip. I think when you play 16 games, there's always a sense of urgency in the NFL. For these Cardinals and Joe Bugle, he said, we don't want to be the stepchild of the NFC East. And he's got 70,000 fans here at their home opener. He said, hey, they're finally coming out to see us. They're not coming out to see a big-name opponent like the Giants or the Bears. And we don't want to disappoint them. We don't want to stink up the joint. Now, for the Cowboys, I think Troy Aikman said it best yesterday. And we said, after a game like we had last week, we can't wait to get this game underway.
And it's the old cliche in football, but both these teams want to establish the running game tonight, don't they?
Well, you're absolutely right. It's going to be one of those NFC East type of games. What you mean by that is it's going to be a game of offensive and linemen, defensive linemen. It's not a game for quarterbacks and wide receivers necessarily. And when you're thinking about the Dallas Cowboys, you have to think about Emmitt Smith. Here's a guy that only carried the ball 13 times last week, 2 in the first half. Jimmy Johnson says we have to get the ball to him 20 to 25 times as a runner tonight. The Cardinals are going to do the exact same thing with their runner, Johnny Johnson. They want him pounding the line of scrimmage and, again, win with defense, win with field position.
Seeming mismatch at quarterback. Troy Aikman, the #1 draft choice, the millionaire-type player. But he's 1-2, and Tom Tupa, the backup quarterback, backup punter, is 2-1.
Well, you know, there's no doubt when you think about Troy Aikman that he has all the ability to be a great player. He's got the arm, he's tough, he's mentally tough, and all those things. But they do have some question marks on this Dallas offense. Offensive line gave up 11 sacks or helped give up 11 sacks last week. They don't really have a real consistent deep threat. But one thing he does have is the best pass-catching tight end in the league in Jay Novacek. Now, Tom Tupa, who will start for the Cardinals at quarterback, remember, he is a backup quarterback. Tim Rosenbaugh, who was a starting quarterback, injured this summer, is out the entire season. And Joe Bugle said about Tom Tupa, we don't want him being the soloist. He is just kind of the band director. We don't want him to have to win the game.
Two pretty good defenses, huh?
Yeah, Dallas has had some deficiencies rushing the passer. They need to find a cure for that. But for the Phoenix Cardinals, they have done a sensational job on defense. Statistically, you look at them, not big in some of the rankings, the pass defense, the rushing defense, but the key one, takeover ratio, turnover ratio, they rank first, +9 on the year. If they're going to win tonight, it's going to be their defense causing 3 or 4 turnovers.
Jimmy Johnson, the Dallas coach, looks on. His team will kick off here. And Joe Bugle's Cardinals will do the receiving. Anthony Edwards will be one of those back deep. The weather could be a factor here tonight. It's a scorcher, 95 degrees. As usually is the case, clear skies here. John Jackson and Anthony Edwards are the deep men as Ken Willis gets ready to kick it off, and we sincerely hope that you'll enjoy another night of football on TNT. We'll be in Minnesota next week where Denver plays. But first, we've got this one. Anthony Edwards has just joined the Cardinals, and he's one of the deep men. Here we go. Brings it out and gets across the 20 to the 21-yard line before he's knocked out. Vince Albritton was there to make the stop, and the Cardinals and Tom Tupa will go to work. He's a 4-year man out of Ohio State.
And Tupa said this first series is the most important one for this team. It will set the tone for the rest of the game. This is what Tupa told us yesterday.
Don't forget, 95 degrees at game time. Most of the field, however, is bathed in shadow, and all of it will be by the time the first quarter comes to a close. Here come the Cardinals with Ricky Prohl wide to the left. And Ernie Jones in the slot to that side. Johnny Johnson is the lone setback. Now he goes in motion. Tupa will put it up on first down. He rolls. Now the screen pass is complete. That's Tim Jordan, the H-back, and he gets up close to a first down to the 30-yard line. Vincent Smith, the linebacker, on the stop, and a good start for the Cardinals.
You know, it's a beautifully designed play as Tupa kind of rolled to his left, brought all the action with him. Tim Jordan, known, as you said, more as an H-back, a guy that's going to move and block and set things up, not nearly as much as a receiver. So a wonderful opening drive. You have a quarterback that's nervous in situations like that, an easy completion, and you end up at second and short.
Johnny Johnson, again, the lone setback. Second down, a yard to go. First down for Johnson. He gets to the 33. Jack Del Rio, the middle linebacker, made the stop, but a first down for Phoenix.
And what a wonderful block that time by Tim Jordan. The first down, he catches the screen pass. The second down, on the little H-back motion, he sets the trap, and Johnny Johnson runs right behind him for the first down.
They mark it at the 34-yard line. Ernie Jones wide right, Prohl to the left. Still the lone setback. He's out of San Jose State in his second year. The H-back, Jordan is in motion. Johnson gets the call and gets some yardage. 41-yard line, a pickup of 8. James Washington out of the secondary made the stop, and we'll look at the starting lineup.
Yeah, we talked about Johnny Johnson. He gets better as the game goes on. Tim Jordan, the H-back, has done a wonderful job thus far in this first drive. But the strength of this team is in the offensive line. Left tackle Louise Sharp, the tight end Walter Reeves, a dominating blocker, and Bill Lewis at center. 3 very good offensive linemen. And again, that's what Joe Bugle wants. Guys, big guys that he can run behind in critical situations.
Second down and a short 3 for the Cardinals from the 41-yard line. Johnny Johnson one more time, but nothing there this time. He gets perhaps a yard, no more than that, and a good step. Ken Norton was in on the play, one of the linebackers for the Cowboys.
Some changes in the defensive line for Dave Wannstedt's defense. Jimmy Jones will get the start at right tackle in place of Danny Noonan. Jack Del Rio, the middle linebacker, said yesterday, this is my kind of game. I should have a lot of tackles against this Cardinal offense. Isaac Holt has been burned the last 3 weeks. Larry Brown gets his first start, 12th round draft pick out of TCU.
Randall Hill checks into the game, a third wide receiver. He splits wide right. It's 3rd and 3 for Phoenix. The pitch play. First down and much more. Johnson out of bounds inside the 40 at the 39-yard line. Larry Brown ran him out, but a big play for Phoenix. Louise Sharp threw a big block to spring him for 20 yards.
Yeah, you're right, Skip. Louise Sharp is right here, but watch the 2 wide receivers as everybody comes in down inside, and they pitch the ball outside. The 2 wide receivers, the tight end, Louise Sharp comes around, Joe Wolf. There's 3 or 4 guys, big bodies, leading the way for Johnny Johnson. Remember the Redskin game. The Redskins got to the outside of Dallas defense, and thus far, that's what the Cardinals have done.
First down from the 39-yard line. Ernie Jones wide right. Ricky Prohl to the left. Jordan goes in motion. He's the H-back. Johnson again. Not much this time. He bulls his way down close to the 36. Tony Tolbert made the stop. Ken Norton assisted on the play. Tolbert, a defensive end out of Texas, El Paso.
Well, Johnny Johnson fits this offense perfectly for the Phoenix Cardinals. One of those guys that gets stronger as the game goes on, and I think he's a very deceiving player because of his height. He's 6'3", and you know, in the NFL you see so many short, quick little backs, you deceive. You don't realize how fast that he is, and you take a lot of bad angles on him.
Second down, 7 yards to go for Phoenix. They've driven to the Dallas 36. Jordan again in motion. Again, the give is to Johnson. Again, they try to go outside, but not this time. Brown was in on the stop, but the first man there was Jack Del Rio, the middle linebacker, to trip him up.
Yeah, Jack Del Rio read that play beautifully. He is number 55. Jack Del Rio playing middle linebacker for the Cowboys. See his eyes. He's reading the play. Sees the guard pull. Has just enough speed to get one arm out there to trip him before he gets some help from Larry Brown. But Jack Del Rio was saying yesterday, hey, I am so glad I play in the NFC East because I've got to make a lot of plays from tackle to tackle. And he did it right there.
John Jackson checks into the game and splits wide left. Terrence Flagler is the running back. He's a pretty good pass receiver. Third down, 8 yards to go. Flags fly. Play on the house, perhaps, for Tupa. He throws, intercepted, but watch the penalty. Isaac Holt has the interception.
Yeah, Jimmy Jones was offside. Good cadence by Tom Tupa. Jimmy Johnson felt he wasn't in the neutral zone, talking about Jimmy Jones, number 97.
Dick Hantak is our referee. We'll listen in. Jimmy pleads his case with the line judge, but
offside. Defense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. They keep it down. Third down.
So that's a big play, isn't it? It makes it 3rd and 3.
Yeah, they call it here, but I think it's right there. It's on Jimmy Jones, number 97. They called it on Casillas, but clearly it was Jimmy Jones. But
3rd and 3 from the 32. John Jackson wide to the left. In motion. Tupa to throw. Tupa overthrows Kroll in the flat. Isaac Holt was there defensively. And the Cardinals now will send Greg Davis, the former Atlanta Falcon, out to try a field goal. It will be from 49 yards.
Well, Joe Bugle was saying that he has such confidence in his kicker, Greg Davis, that once they cross the 50-yard line, his play selection changes. With the way his defense has played thus far this year, creating turnovers, what he doesn't want to do is get in a situation where he turns the ball over himself when he gets across the 40-yard line. He thinks this kicker can put him in from a long way out.
Connie Kwai will hold it. Will snap it. Tim Jordan will hold it, and Greg Davis will try to kick it. He's got it up. Is it long enough? No. Wide to the right. So Phoenix drives down the field but fails to score. Now the Cowboys will have the ball.
But he knows if he can get off to a good start like he did this year at 2-1, when it comes down to the last few weeks of the year, he's going to have a lot of home games. He said yesterday, hey, I am absolutely delighted to be 2-1 at this point.
When the Cardinals had the ball, they went 47 yards in 9 plays, took 5:22 off the clock, but got nothing out of it. Alexander Wright is wide to the right. Michael Irvin to the left. Emmett Smith picks his way to the 37-yard line. Freddie Joe Nunn, an outstanding linebacker on the stop.
Well, you're going to see a lot of Emmett Smith tonight, both as a rusher and as a pass receiver. Tied for the NFC lead as a receiver, and they want to run him 25 times tonight. Offensive line, they got credit for the 11 sacks last week, quite honestly. All of them were not their faults. 6 coverage sacks, quite honestly. But watch the tight end, Jay Novacek. He might catch 10, 12, 15 passes tonight against this zone defense.
2nd down, 5 yards to go. Darrell Johnston goes in motion. Pitch play, Emmett Smith, not much. He gets to the 40-yard line. Jim Waller out of UCLA made the stop, the nose tackle.
This is where the Cardinal team has really improved in the defensive side of the football. Jim Waller, who just made the play there. Big guys in Faulkner and Patterson, over 300 pounds. Strength here in the linebackers. Outside linebacker Ken Harvey doesn't get enough recognition. Freddie Joe Nunn, very good at causing fumbles. The rookie, Aeneas Williams, 2 interceptions in his first 2 games as a pro.
Tim McDonald, a dandy strong safety. 3rd down, possession play. It's 3rd and 2. Michael Irvin in motion. Emmett first down. He's broken it. He can go all the way. Can they catch him? No. 60-yard touchdown burst for Emmett Smith. And the Cardinals are stunned early. A lot of Dallas fans here. Listen.
Block skip by the center, number 53, Mark Stepnoski. Right there in the middle of the screen. He just knocks Waller out of the way, and there's just a huge hole for Emmitt Smith. It was funny, Troy Aikman was saying yesterday, the one thing I didn't know about Emmitt Smith was what kind of speed he had. He has a reputation not necessarily being fast, but this year 75 yards against the Redskins and 60 yards tonight.
Ken Willis nails the extra point. And the Cowboys, in 3 plays, get on the board. A 60-yard touchdown dash by Emmitt Smith. 7-0 Dallas. We'll be back to the Valley of the Sun right after this.
Who's put the Cowboys up on top 7-0. Remember in the Redskin game when he went 75 yards and then got sick. He had taken a drink before the game for dehydration, and he didn't handle it particularly well and wasn't much of a factor, quite honestly, after that long run. He said, I will never drink that stuff again.
I say that virtually every evening. John Jackson, Anthony Edwards, and the deep man Ken Willis will kick it off. A high kick, not too deep. From the 3-yard line, it's John Jackson. If he can get outside, but he cannot, and he's knocked down by Darrell Johnston at just beyond the 20-yard line.
Hey, Skip, we talked about the center, Mark Stepnoski. We also talked about this being an offensive and a defensive lineman. Watch these guys, the center and the left guard and the left tackle of the Cowboys. I mean, you talk about NFC East football. This is what you're looking for, holes like this. And then you can't arm tackle Emmitt Smith, or he's going to run through you like that, and then he's going to outrun some people as well.
It was Zordich and McDonald, the 2 safeties that had a shot at him, but they missed, and he was off to the races.
Well, this is just what Tom Tupa, who's a quarterback, as we said, is not a kind of guy that can bring a team from behind or win games by himself. He has to keep this game close if the Cardinals are going to have a chance.
Johnny Johnson is the lone setback. 23, Johnson loses 3. Tony Casillas wrapped him up back at the 20-yard line.
Well, you know, the strength of this Cowboy defense is right at the defensive tackle position. Tony Casillas, whom they get in a trade from the Atlanta Falcons. Jimmy Jones. Behind those guys, you'll see Russell Maryland, the #1 draft pick in the entire draft last year. You'll see Danny Newman. Right down the heart of that defense. They're pretty good.
Randall Hill, the thrill, has checked into the game, a 3rd wide receiver for the Cardinals. They don't like to be in this spot. 2nd and 12. The delay. Johnson gets a few, gets out across the 25 and to the 28-yard line. Jim Jeffcoat made the stop. And it'll be 3rd and about 5 for the Cardinals.
If you're a lineman, an offensive lineman on either one of these 2 teams, it's a great kind of game to get into rhythm. It's a great conference to play in. You get offensive linemen have to get into a rhythm of the game just as a quarterback does or a wide receiver does. And the way you do that is you come out and you pound the ball. You don't get impatient when you get stuffed a couple of times.
3rd down. They mark it at 4 yards to go. Terrence Flagler checks in at running back. John Johnson is an added wide receiver. Possession play. Jordan in motion. Tupa to throw. Tupa into the flat. Flagler had it right in his hands. Would have probably had a chance for the 1st down, but he simply dropped the ball.
Yeah, he would have had the 1st down. He had a receiver who would have turned out to be a blocker right in front of him. He's going to catch the ball in front of the marker on 3rd and 3, which ordinarily you want to run a route past the 1st down marker. But there was no doubt in my mind that with a blocker in front of him, he would have clearly picked up the 1st.
Rich Camarillo will kick it away. Derek Shepard is the deep man. Pretty good kick. Shepard backpedals and makes the play at the 22-yard line. He bobbles it, then recovers. Spins his way to the 30-yard line, and that's where the Cowboys will go to work. The stop was made by Connie Quai. It's 7-0. Dallas has the lead, and
you know, they're really coming out to see us, and I want to play well for them. I don't want to stink up the joint. Well, they're down by 7 right now.
Emmitt Smith, the lone setback. Troy Aikman calls signals. 1st and 10 from the 30. He's going to throw. And he wants all of it. He's going long, and he overthrows his man. Michael Irvin, the intended receiver, and Aeneas Williams on the coverage.
You know, it's interesting because Tim McDonald, the strong safety for the Cardinals, was saying about Aikman this week that he's got one of the great pump fakes in the National Football League. You know, he'll dink the ball to his tight end, he'll dink the ball to a halfback, into Michael Irvin in the flat, and then he'll pump fake it and go up top on you. Well, in tonight's game, he starts going deep, and maybe he'll come back and dink a little bit now.
2nd and 10 is the situation. Alexander Wright is to the right. Johnston back in there in the I formation as the fullback. Irvin goes in motion, and it's Smith. Powers his way past the 35 to the 36-yard line. Eric Hill, an inside linebacker, made the stop short of the first down, but a good advance nonetheless to the 36-yard line. It will bring up a third and about 4.
A wonderful block on the left side by Alfredo Roberts, one of the tight ends for the Cowboys, that he just kind of buried his guy. The thing about Emmitt Smith is you don't have to block your guy very long for Emmitt Smith. That's what Mark Stepnoski, the center, was saying. There's the blocker of Roberts. But Stepnoski, the center, was saying, if you just block your guy just for a second, he'll find that hole and get there quickly.
Third down and 4. Aikman calls signal. His team leads 7-0 early. He has time. He has a completion. He has a first down to the 42-yard line. Daryl Johnston, the fullback. David Braxton, a reserve linebacker out of Wake Forest, on the tackle, but not before. A first down for Dallas.
Daryl Johnson could play a prominent role in tonight's game and for the Cowboys offense this season because he's a very good receiver. And if you're going to take Jay Novacek, the tight end, away, what does that do? It leaves your fullback wide open. And very rarely do you ever find a fullback that's covered. If they're patient enough to go to him, Daryl Johnson can catch a lot of balls.
Alexander right to the left. Michael Irvin to the right. Novacek in motion. Emmitt Smith kicks it outside. Gets to the 45. Gets to the 46-yard line. Tim McDonald, the strong safety, applied the stop.
You know, McDonald, the all-pro strong safety, number 46 there for the Cardinals, was saying yesterday that our offense is not the type that's going to score a lot of points. If it's going to happen for us, it's going to happen on defense. And they've done that in their 2 wins this year, the +9 and the turnover ratio. You're going to see a lot of white jerseys around the ball, 4 or 5 guys around the ball carrier. And sooner or later, they feel they're going to come up with a play, a turnover.
Alexander right out of Auburn, splits right. Michael Irvin out of Miami, splits left. Aikman has pressure, complete. Daryl Johnston again. He dives forward to about the 42, and then a flag is thrown as well. Hill made the stop, and the flag was right in his area. May have been a face mask. Let's see.
You know, Jimmy Johnson said last week our team offensively didn't adjust well against the Eagles. But tonight they are adjusting. They're taking away Novacek, so they're throwing the ball to the fullback.
Face mask against the defense. It'll be 5 yards.
A 5-yard face mask against Eric Hill. We'll see it again.
Oh, yeah. That's worth at least 5, I'd say. But again, it's the subtle things, the adjustments, I think, which in football games, which win games. Joe Gibbs has been doing it for years, the NFC East, one of the great adjustment coaches in the NFL. Tonight, the Cowboys are doing a wonderful job. They take away the tight end, throw the ball to the fullback.
First down from the 37. Daryl Johnston in motion. Emmitt Smith with the ball. He's to the 35 and no more than that. Tim McDonald there on the stop again. A short advance for the Dallas team, but they're marching close to field goal range as they reach the 35.
You know, McDonald said about Emmitt Smith a year ago when he was a rookie, he said, boy, he sure fooled me. He said, I'm a pretty good tackler, but you better bring an extra load when you're trying to tackle Emmitt Smith because you will just bounce off him. He said, last year I tried to wrap him up and he just slipped some tackles.
2nd and 8 is the situation. We have 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Aikman will put it up. A little dump pass over the middle. Johnston again. 20, 15, 13 yards. Michael Zordich made the stop, but not till he reached the 13, and he's been the main man tonight, a 22-yard gain.
And give Norville Turner, the offensive coordinator, credit, because see number 84, the tight end, how he's getting mugged right there by number 46, Tim McDonald. So what do? You make the adjustment. You get rid of the ball to another receiver, and that's exactly what they've done 3 times to the fullback Daryl Johnson.
They've also taken this crowd, this big crowd, right out of the game in Phoenix.
If the Cardinals are going to have a chance, I think, in tonight's ball game, they have to prevent the Cowboys from scoring a touchdown here. They have to force a field goal attempt.
Johnston in motion. Emmitt Smith hit at the line of scrimmage. Wriggles forward for perhaps a yard. Craig Patterson on the stop He's the guy that got to him first and slowed him down. A 317-pounder out of BYU.
Yeah, Joe Bugle calls guys like Craig Patterson my ugly people. The guys the big 300-pound guys that don't tuck their shirt in and stop the run and kind of push people back so that Ken Harvey and Freddie Joe Nunn, the outside linebackers, can make the play. But he wants Patterson, Waller, Faulkner, his inside three to play ugly but stop the run.
Michael Irvin splits to the left. Alexander right to the right. Emmett Smith, the lone setback. Novacek in motion. Aikman to throw. Pumps. Goes into the end zone. Has a man. Touch. No. He caught it out of bounds. It was Michael Irvin, but he caught it out of bounds.
This was a nice move by Michael Irvin because he faked the slant. The pump fake by Troy Aikman, and he was wide open. He had to adjust. He did a great job of adjusting on the ball. Just couldn't get the left foot in. But man, that was a tremendous move by Irvin, who really sold him on the left foot wasn't in. Really sold him on the slant move, but he was pretty open. He was wide open.
3rd and 8 from the 11-yard line. Now they're going to review that play.
That's not even close.
After further review, play stands as called. Incomplete pass. 3rd down.
Here's a situation on 3rd and 8 where the Cardinal defense will play a zone defense. And Jimmy Johnson said yesterday, hey, sometimes we're going to complete the ball at 5 or 6 yards. And we know that they're not the first down marker, but our guys are going to have to find a way to get the extra 2 and 3 yards.
The play clock needs to be set at 17 seconds, please.
They want 1 more second to run off the clock here.
I feel much better. I feel much better.
But they can't do it, so this whole game may be canceled. They can't make that go to 117. So we'll play on through it. 3rd and 8 from the 11-yard line. Emmett Smith inside, touchdown. Nice little trap play for 6 more.
Beautifully executed drive for the 2nd time for the Cowboys. Great play selection by Norval Turner and Jimmy Johnson. And the offensive line blocking has been absolutely superb. We said it's a night for linemen. Again, Stepnoski, number 53, does a terrific job of walling off Jim Waller. And there's just a gaping hole. That's too big a hole to have inside the 15-yard line. Emmett Smith, 7 carries, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns, and we're still in the first quarter.
Snap, plays, kick. That is good. And it's 14-0, and this is just what Phoenix could not afford because they don't want to have to throw the football a whole lot. 14-0, 1:14 remaining in our first quarter. Smith has 91 yards rushing already. We're still in the first quarter. High, long kick. At the goal line. It is Anthony Edwards who brings it out across the 20 to about the 23-yard line, and that's where Phoenix will go to work down by 2 touchdowns.
Skip, I know you were wondering how Emmett Smith got so wide open, and here's the answer. Tim McDonald was going on a blitz, and he's going to run right past him. And on the center, Stepnoski, the left guard, Gogan, trap block, and there's just a gaping hole, huge hole that can't happen. Here's another look at this offensive line. 2 series for this offensive line, and both times if you keep opening holes like this for Smith.
Cardinals go with 3 wide receivers. First down from the 23-yard line. Tupa to throw. Has a man complete and out of bounds. John Jackson. Or is it Ernie Jones? It was Jones, my mistake. Jones, the 5th-year man out of Indiana, makes the reception.
Well, you know, they had enough confidence in Ernie Jones to let Roy Green and J.T. Smith go, the 2 long-time receivers for the Cardinals. Roy Green actually caught 6 balls today. But watch the lick here that any quarterback's going to take. This time Casillas on Tupa. Remember, the Tupa is the backup quarterback. Tim Rosenball out for the year with a knee injury. And Tony Casillas, the best defensive lineman for the Cowboys.
Ernie Jones wide right. Randall Hill splits left. Slot to the right side. The give Davis to the running back Johnson. He gets to the 40, the 45, into midfield before he is knocked down by Ray Horton, and another first down for Phoenix. And brother, they needed that, a 13-yard gain.
We talked about Johnny Johnson being deceiving. I mean, it just doesn't look like he's running that fast, but you look up and all you see is the chain markers moving. And number 55, Jack Del Rio, said, boy, the way he runs, you take a lot of bad angles. He just does not look that fast on film. But when you get out there on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday night, boy, all you're doing is looking at the back of his jersey.
The first quarter comes to a close. So far, it's all Dallas, but Phoenix is trying to mount a drive. We'll be back. Johnny Johnson still the running back. The H-back is Tim Jordan. First down for the Cardinals. Long count Tupa. He's going to put it up. He's got plenty of time. Now he throws. He has a man complete inside the 40 for a first down. Ernie Jones with the reception. Ken Norton, the linebacker, on the coverage. But they move the chains again, I think. Yes, they do.
A nice adjustment by Ernie Jones. You know, a lot of receivers have speed. A lot of guys can catch the ball when the ball is well thrown. But you see how he fakes inside a little bit, then he's going to come out and make a nice adjustment to a ball that's thrown a little bit low. And he worked back to the quarterback, kept his body in front of the defender.
Ricky Prohl hasn't caught a pass yet. He's an outstanding pass receiver for the Phoenix team. Johnny Johnson has a hole, has 5, has 7. Norton on the stop, but not before a good-sized pickup.
There was a huge collision in the backfield between Tim Jordan and I think it was Ken Norton. And Tim Jordan is not feeling particularly good about it. Ken Norton playing outside linebacker for these Cowboys, a guy who can run sideline to sideline. They're looking for a guy who, yeah, he's coming out. It was a huge collision right in the backfield.
Ron Wolfley comes in to replace him. They have gone with their H-back set throughout this game. They haven't gone to the 2 running backs, Johnson and Anthony Thompson. Ricky Prohl slot left.
This is a very important drive for Tom Tupa. If they're going to have any chance, down by 14, they have to get something on the board because they're not a great catch-up team.
Johnson hit, breaks 1 tackle, gets close to the 30-yard line before he is covered. Ray Horton was in on the stop, and so was Tony Tolbert.
You know, I think that the judge, or how you judge a good running back, quite honestly, Skip, is how many yards you get when nothing's there. And Tony Tolbert stuffed that hole pretty good, yet Johnny Johnson still was able to pick up a couple yards out of it. You know, it's easy to run for 6 yards or 90 yards the way Emmett Smith has tonight when you have gaping holes, but when they're not there, that's a true test, and Johnny Johnson's done a pretty good job of running hard tonight.
Third down, 2 yards to go. John Jackson checks in and splits wide right for the Cardinals. Johnson will run for it. They string him out, but he's got the first down. The net is run out of bounds by James Washington, but a first down for Phoenix.
Boy, that left side of that offensive line, Louise Sharp and Joe Wolf did a wonderful job. Weren't dominating blocks, quite honestly, Skip, but Louise just kind of screened. It was a basketball screen on his guy, and so did Joe Wolf, the left guard. They just kind of slowed down so the defenders had to run through him, and that allowed him to pick up the first. They can dominate you if they have to, but they can use a feel for the game sometimes as well.
The ball is marked at the 27-yard line. First down. 4 first downs in this drive. They had only 2 first downs prior to it. Tupa brings him out. Prohl in the slot right. Johnson inside the 25 to the 24-yard line, and then down he goes. Danny Noonan back in the game out of Nebraska and on the tackle for Dallas.
You know, every running back in the National Football League seems to have their own fingerprint, their own style. We've seen it at Emmitt Smith, the way he bounces off tacklers. Johnny Johnson is a long-legged kind of guy, a smooth, a glider. He has the capability of moving the pile, but then he can bounce it outside and outrun you as well.
68 yards as he comes out of the game. Anthony Thompson takes his place. And Thompson gets the carry and gets yardage inside the 20, down close to the 17-yard line. Tony Tolbert on the stop, and an impressive drive so far for the Phoenix team.
Yeah, Anthony Thompson, their top draft pick a year ago out of Indiana. He's a kind of a smoke the hole type of runner. He's not going to glide. He's not going to bounce. He's going to run it right where you call it. And if there's nobody there, he's going to run through you.
The officials call timeout here. Apparently they want to measure this.
A couple of Super Bowls with him on the staff. The offensive linemen have really dominated this drive.
The big tight end, Walter Reeves, a 260-pounder out of Auburn, checks in on 3rd and inches.
There's a reasonably good chance that Anthony Thompson will get this ball.
That's why he's a Rhodes Scholar, folks. That's why he played in the NFL as a quarterback. Might be a quarterback sneak. Thompson, first down, and more. 15-yard line. Vincent Smith in on the stop, so was Ray Horton, but the drive continued.
In 3rd and short, this is a pretty big hole for a 3rd and short. Ordinarily, you see a guy having to dive over the top, but Tim Jordan, number 85, the H-back, has done a pretty good job tonight of really coming down in motion and setting up some nice trap blocks, and he cleared out the way that time for Thompson to pick up the first.
Ernie Jones splits to the left side of the field. 62 yards on this drive so far for Phoenix. Tupa to throw. Overthrew his man. Intended for Ricky Prohl at the 9-yard line. Vincent Smith on the coverage. Nothing good happened there for the Phoenix team.
You know, Tom Tupa has kind of a funny throwing motion. He is 6'5". He's a tall guy, but he throws it sidearm. And they've tried to work on his delivery. At least last summer they tried to work on his delivery, but
he is sort of a sidearmer, isn't he?
Yeah, you know, even though he's in his 4th year in the National Football League, really has not played much. Did not play a down last year as Tim Rosenbaugh took every snap. At Ohio State, he didn't play to his senior year, so he's still very much going through the learning process, and it can be ugly, the learning process, for a quarterback in the NFL.
2nd down, 10 yards to go. Anthony Thompson, the lone running back. To put a throw, has plenty of time. Sidearms, one for the end zone. It is dropped. Ernie Jones had it right there, but couldn't hang on.
Yeah, I think Isaac Holt actually knocked it out of his hand, Skip. But Ernie Jones was open. The ball was underthrown, and that allowed Holt to knock it down. Now, Isaac Holt has been beaten the last 3 weeks for touchdowns, and he was beaten here. Watch, he's got to be stumbling. The ball's laid out there. If the ball's laid out in front of him, that's an easy 6 points.
But he had to wait for it, and that gave Holt a chance to do that. So it's 3rd and 10. Trips right. Prohl on the reverse. At the 15, they string him out, run him out of bounds, well short of the first down. Jim Jeffcoat stayed at home on that play and prevented Prohl from gaining much yardage at all.
Yeah, what a good play by Jim Jeffcoat, the defensive end, the right defensive end for Jimmy Johnson's team. There he is, number 77. I mean, this looks like when it first gets started, it's going to be a pretty good play because you have a nickel defense in. It's an unusual formation, and you got some running room and big bodies out in front of you. But Jim Jeffcoat stays right at home and puts the stop on him.
32-yard field goal try for Greg Davis. He missed from 49 earlier. Danny snaps it. Tim Jordan holds it. Greg Davis kicks it, and it is good. So the Cardinals are disappointed, but they do get on the board. They get a field goal, and it's 14-3. Dallas hasn't been stopped yet. We'll see what happens. Shepard at the 2-yard line. He reaches the 20, breaks a tackle, and gets to the 23-yard line. Looked like once again David Braxton, the reserve linebacker, who made the stop. So Dallas will go to work. But first we'll break away. Fullback Darrell Johnston, who's caught 3 or 4 passes for a lot of yards. Smith 7 rushes, 91 yards. That's a 13-yard average.
Oh, you're good at math.
Thanks. Alonzo Lorenzo Highsmith checks into the game to play fullback. Emmett Smith gets the ball and gets the 26-yard line. Garth Jacks made the stop. He's a good linebacker.
Let's go back, Skip. Even though Phoenix got 3 points on the last drive, it was actually Ernie Jones. This ball should have been caught. Jones drops this ball. It wasn't knocked out by Holt. Now, Holt is a man who's been victimized 3 straight weeks for the Cowboys. He should have been for the 4th straight week. And Ernie Jones should have caught that for a touchdown. We would have had a 14-7 ball game.
Michael Irvin splits wide left for Dallas. 2nd down, 8 yards to go from the 26. Highsmith in motion. Aikman to throw for Emmett Smith. He's got it at the 25. Cuts back across the 30 to the 31, shy of the 1st down. Robert Massey, the cornerback out of North Carolina Central, and Ken Harvey, the linebacker, on the stop.
See how many white jerseys were around Emmett Smith that time. This is how Phoenix has caused as many turnovers as they have this year. They have caused 14 turnovers and recovered 12 of them because of gang tackling like that. 4, 5, 6 jerseys around the ball. They've caused 14. That's one thing, but they have so many guys around the ball, they're there to recover.
Possession play here, 3rd and 3 from the 31.
This is where they've always featured Novacek.
He's hit, he's sacked. At the 20-yard line, Eric Hill was there.
They had great coverage by number 46, Tim McDonald, on Novacek, because that is really where Troy Aikman wanted to go. McDonald had him covered, everybody else was covered, and Aikman had nowhere to go, and Eric Hill, number 58, the inside linebacker, makes the play.
Mike Saxon will kick it away to Ricky Prohl. Prohl stands at the 35-yard line.
It's a big defensive series for the Cardinals. First time they've stopped it.
There's the kick, and it's sort of low. Liner. Prohl makes the play on the run at the 32. Good return, and out of bounds at around the 45-yard line. Once again, it was Darrell Johnston that chased him out after the line drive punch. So great field position here for Phoenix. When we come back,
Cover punts. Number 29, Kenneth Gant. He's going to get mugged here, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. That's what you call getting blocked a few times, getting held up. But no hard feelings there as Aeneas Williams gives a nice little pat in the helmet. And let's get on with it. Great special teams players, Kenneth Gant, but can't beat 2 guys there.
and good field position for the Cardinals as they go to work at their own 45 as the wave makes its way around the stadium. Johnny Johnson back in the game. Tupa to throw. Has a man. It's complete to Ernie Jones. For a gain of about 8 yards. Ken Norton was on the stop. And now let's take a look at tonight's U.S. Marine Corps scoreboard.
Well, you know, the Redskins have beaten teams badly, and this time came back in the fourth quarter to win there. Eagles, remember the Eagles? How about Roy Green? Used to play here for the Cardinals, 6 catches for Roy Green. Thought he was washed up, but had a big day today.
Here it's 2nd and 1 on the 46 as you see the scores. Johnson, the running back. Randall Hill splits wide right. Johnson does not have a first down. He is hit and hit hard. Jimmy Jones was there.
And how about the Saints? We saw them last week, Skip, and that defense is they're no Cinderella team. That's a real team out there.
They ain't the Aints anymore.
Yeah, you're right. Falcons with a win. This is a surprise today. Matt Millen threw a touchdown pass there with 6 seconds remaining. Good for them.
Yeah, it's good to see New England coming back. 3rd down and 1 here from the 46-yard line. Inside the 40. James Washington on the stop. But Phoenix showing an ability to move the football as we continue the scores. The Lions, well, that's amazing to me after watching the disaster against Washington we had.
3-1 start for the Lions this year after losing 45-0 to the Redskins. But hey, Joe Bugel has to be very happy with this offensive line and the way his team responded. They were down 14-0. Here in front of their opening home game, 70,000 people. But the offensive line came back, plugged away. They got 3, and now they're driving again.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line. Jordan is the H-back. Tupa to throw on first down. Has plenty of time. Goes for all of it into the end zone for Jones, and he overthrew it. Isaac Holt on the coverage. The pass was too tall.
I was talking to Dave Wannstedt, the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys this week, and he said, hey, Tupa is a good long ball thrower, but it seems like once every, maybe 4 or 5 passes, he just winds up and they throw it deep. And they're hoping for not necessarily just a catch, but maybe a pass interference or some sort of play where they can pick up a flag. That one is just way too far for Ernie Jones. Had no chance to even try to make a play on that one.
Second and 10 from the 40-yard line. Anthony Thompson checks into the game at running back. Thompson on a sweep, hit behind the line, and down he goes. Jimmy Jones again, the youngster out of Miami, who replaced Danny Noonan in the starting lineup this week, and he's having a good night.
Yeah, and here's why he's getting the start. Number 97, Jimmy Jones. Watch how he gets off the ball. The most important thing for a defensive lineman is the first 3 steps, and he has got a burst. They were hoping that Jimmy Jones was going to be their answer as a pass rusher at defensive end. He has not been, but he's been a terrific defensive tackle because of his burst, and he can make plays like that.
Cardinals need to get inside the 30-yard line for a first down. It's third down. Terrence Flagler back in the game with Anthony Thompson. Tupa will throw for it. He needs 13. He's got it. Flags fly. They mark the ball inside the 30. It'll be enough for a first down. Ernie Jones, the reception.
You know, all coaches clearly watch a lot of films getting ready for a game, and when you're the Cardinals, the pass interference on Holt, you've watched a lot of film of the last 3 games, and in each of those games, number 30, Isaac Holt, has been beaten for touchdowns. And so you know he's going to get worked on. And you know people are going to try to go up top on him, as they did earlier when he was beaten for a touchdown.
Let's see if he's got the first down. He's inside the 30.
Illegal contact by the defense. Number 23. Penalty is declined. I'm sorry, penalty is accepted.
They accept the penalty because
first down.
That makes it a first down.
There's number 23, Robert Williams.
So they take the first down, even though it's less yards. Instead of being at the 30, they're back at the 38.
Yeah, it's the automatic first.
They mark it, in fact, at the 37-yard line. And here we go. Randall Hill wide to the left. We're getting late. 3:55 left in the quarter. To put a throw again, has all the time in the world, completes the pass shy of the 30. Randall Hill, the thrill, the rookie out of Miami, makes the play.
Yeah, and he is thrilled. Remember, the Miami Dolphins drafted him on the first round out of the University of Miami. He did not fit into Don Shula's plans there. Thought he was an undisciplined type of player. They pulled him, traded for a #1 draft pick here, and brought him in a couple of weeks ago. He has a hamstring, but he felt slighted by Jimmy Johnson. That Jimmy Johnson didn't draft him #1, drafted another wide receiver instead, and he wanted to play desperately against the Cowboys tonight.
Second and 3 from the 30-yard line. Johnson with the ball, breaks it inside the 25, down to the 22-yard line. Larry Brown on the stop. He was helped on the play by Tony Tolbert, but the Cardinals are dominating the game after looking very bad early.
Yeah, and again, Tim Jordan, number 85, the H-back, he's playing fullback there. Watch what he does. He just kind of screens out Vincent Smith, number 57. Then he picks up the middle linebacker, Jack Del Rio. Tim Jordan has done a great night blocking, clearing the way for Johnny Johnson. That time, he blocked 2 linebackers.
First and 10 from the 22. Randall Hill wide to the right. 2.5 minutes remaining in our first half. Johnson again. Into the 15-yard line he goes. Jimmy Jones involved in the stop again, but they're moving at will against the Dallas team.
Yeah, this is not a scat back offense, and you don't have a scat back in Johnny Johnson, but what you have a guy, although he looks a little bit awkward, he looks like he's running so tall, but he's got a great lean to him. And again, you don't see many backs. You know, there used to be the O.J. Simpsons and the Gale Sayers types, the guys who were tall and lean. You've seen more running backs built like Barry Sanders, but now Johnny Johnson shows you that stride, why he's had a big year.
We've reached the 2-minute period, and Anthony Thompson is about to check into the game. Here we go. 2nd and 3 from the 15. Johnson. Not this time. Ken Norton on the stop.
Yeah, that's a good play by Ken Norton. He's an outside linebacker. A year ago, he played inside, or played the other side, the strong side for the Dallas Cowboys. And they're hoping to get a lot more movement out of him. The one liability this team has is in the pass rushing department. They're pretty strong in defensive tackle. Dave Wannstedt and Jimmy Jones Jimmy Johnson trying to find a guy who can put the pressure on the quarterback.
3rd and 3 at the 15. Terrence Flagler in the game as a running back or pass receiver on 3rd and 3. Tupa will throw. It's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Jim Jeffcoat took care of business there, and again it looks like the Cardinals will have to settle for a field goal. Let's see. Yep.
Yeah, how about Jim Jeffcoat? Twice inside the 20-yard line, he's made the play. Remember the play before? Yes. He stopped the reverse. This time, number 77 just times it beautifully. You know, it's one thing being a guy that big. He's 6'5", 270 pounds, but he's an athlete. Timed the jump absolutely perfectly.
Davis will try the field goal from 32 yards. He's made a 32-yarder, missed a 49-yarder. Jordan will hold with 1:12 left in the half. He's got that baby right down the middle, and it's 14-6. We have 1:09 remaining in the first half, and Phoenix has battled back. They still trail, but they're very much. Here's the kick. James Dixon has it. Good field position, 30-yard line, and a flag comes flying in. Steve Heitch on the tackle. So let's see what the penalty is all about. Dick Hantak will let us know. He's our referee.
Holding on the return, number 59, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Remember before we watched Kenneth Gant, number 29 for the Cowboys, how many times he was getting hit and blocked? Watch old Nate Newton throwing that no-hitter here. Big old Nate is supposed to be part of the wedge there, but not much happening there for Nate.
Well, and I'll tell you what, everybody took a wide berth around him. He at least accomplished that. Here we go, 1:04 remaining. It's a 14-6 Cowboy lead. The crowd back into the game here. Smith crosses the 25, gets to the 26-yard line.
Now,
Garth Jacks on the stop.
55 seconds remaining. Plenty of time here for Troy Aikman. 4 of 6 in the night, but he has not completed a pass to a wide receiver. Everything he's completed has been to a running back. So he's got to give a wide receiver a chance here or get the ball to his tight end, Novacek.
Cardinals call a timeout after the short gain at. And be sure to be with us next Sunday. We travel to Minneapolis for the Broncos and Vikings game. Earlier today, the Broncos beats
to work with.
The Cowboys now have 1-1. Rather, the Cardinals have.
His speed wide receiver is Alexander Wright, number 81. He's not thrown to him thus far tonight.
He's going to throw now. And it is complete to the 45 and out of bounds near midfield. Michael Irvin made the reception. He's another guy out of Miami. Zordich ran him out.
The ability to adjust, or the ability to adjust for a wide receiver, I think is really understated. This ball is thrown behind Michael Irvin, but he stops, he sees it, he got his head turned around, then he has the presence to get out and then knock over all the Gatorade there so they don't have anything to drink.
Smart play.
But watch, you know, this is supposed to be an in route. catches that ball with his hands, knows he's in a 2-minute drill, and he dances outside.
Irvin splits to the left this time. Aikman to throw, has pressure, and it goes right through the hands of Novacek at the 40-yard line. That doesn't happen to him often. David Braxton on the coverage.
Yeah, thus far the Cardinal defense has done a marvelous job of taking away Jay Novacek. Came in with 14 catches, 2 touchdowns. But in particular, Tim McDonald has done a marvelous job of shutting him out.
2nd and 10 from the 50, 48 seconds remaining until halftime.
You know, you think of Troy Aikman with a big, strong arm, but his longest touchdown pass this year is only 6 yards. It talks about some of the weakness on offense. They don't have a big-time wide receiver that can go up top.
Irvin to the left, Alexander right to the right. Emmett Smith eludes one man and lunges close to the 40-yard line. They'll mark it at the 42, and a timeout is quickly called. This one by Dallas.
Now, Emmett Smith is a great draw runner. Again, we're talking to Mark Stepnoski, number 53, a couple of weeks ago, and he says, hey, he sets guys up so well. I mean, he's a patient runner. I mean, he helps the offensive linemen with their blocks because he'll move one way, set up a defender, know the offensive line's going to block him, and then he'll cut right behind him.
Lorenzo Lynch and Jay Taylor involved on that tackle. Timeout called by Dallas. In baseball today, the Los Angeles Dodgers beat the Atlanta Braves 3-0. So the Dodgers now lead the National League West by a game and a half. On our sister station TBS, you'll see the Braves against the Reds at 7:35 Eastern time on Tuesday night as that exciting pennant race continued.
You talk about guys' signatures, and the thing about Emmett Smith is his ability to break tackles. Well, he's carried the ball 11 times tonight. We've counted 8 tackles that he has broken.
Jeff Faulkner, Chris Williams check into the game on that defensive line. The team with Ron Sadler for Phoenix. 20 seconds left.
They need about 8 more yards to get themselves in reasonable field position for a field goal.
There's a completed pass to Novacek down to the 35-yard line. A flag on the play as well. We'll see what that's all about. Ken Harvey made the stop, but Novacek. Let's see what it is. Illegal procedure. That'll hurt Dallas.
And Ken Willis, the kicker, has a long this year of 54 yards.
Illegal formation on the offense. Incorrect alignment on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 3rd down.
So it's again 3rd down.
He's got one of those computerized voices. Doesn't he sound like that? Yeah.
Yes.
So now what you're looking at, maybe 13, 15 yards is what the Cowboys need to give themselves a chance. And 15 yards will give them a 47-yard field goal attempt.
It's 3rd and 6 from the 46. By Novacek at the 40-yard line, very close to the 1st down. I don't know whether he has it or not. Lorenzo Lynch on the coverage.
You know, tight ends are usually an afterthought, but not for the Dallas Cowboys. Watch number 84. He's one of the few tight ends in the league that's a primary receiver. He and Eric Green of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's because he's got good hands, he's a big target, and the quarterback likes him and has confidence in him. Combination of those things, he's going to get a lot of balls thrown to him, and he's going to catch a lot.
Can a quarterback, and you were in that position, so I think you can answer the question, can you get too sweet on one receiver? You begin to count on the guy, and he comes through for you. Then you look to him too much and ignore other guys who may be open?
You're absolutely right, and if you aren't willing or able to adjust, you're going to get stuffed. But what the Cowboys did here in the 1st half, they took Novacek away. Where'd he go? He threw the ball to Darryl Johnson.
That's right. The Cowboys have taken their 2nd timeout. They did get the 1st and 10. We are down to 22 seconds remaining in the 1st half, and it's been a good one. It was a 14-0 game. The Cardinals have marched and been halted, but kicked a couple of field goals, and they'll be very much in this contest at halftime.
Remember, Troy Aikman yesterday was saying, hey, after what happened last week against Philadelphia, this game couldn't come soon enough.
Alexander right, wide right. Michael Irvin wide left. Aikman has time, dumps it off. It's complete to Emmett Smith. He heads for the sidelines, is down close to the 30-yard line. 12 seconds remaining, and now they halt the clock with 10 seconds left in the half. Lorenzo Lynch on the stop. Last time out for Dallas.
This is a nice pattern because not only was Emmett Smith in the backfield, so was Jay Novacek. Remember, he caught the pass earlier? Novacek cleared out, and then Emmett Smith came right in behind him. Novacek had taken both inside guys out, and Emmett Smith has an easy catch.
They're going to line up and try to kick it right here. And it will be a 48-yard attempt for Ken Willis.
He's got enough leg, belong to the year, 54 yards.
And he tries to make this a 17-6 game with 10 seconds remaining in the half. Here we go. Jay Novacek will hold it. Just missed. Wide to the left, as you see. 5 seconds remaining in the first half, and the score stays the same, 14-6. He didn't miss by much, did he, Pep?
No. But I always love the defensive bodies, how many guys are fighting and scrapping and getting their hands up, getting their arms up. No.
Flagler into the game as a running back for the Cardinals, who have time for one more play.
I'll tell you, Joe Bugel has to be pretty happy with the way this half is going to end. 14-6. And they were down 14-0. It would have been easy to lay over and die. Don't have an explosive offense, but they have hung in there and fought back pretty well, I think.
The crowd boos, but that's silly. He did the right thing. The half comes to a close. And the Cardinals, who gave up touchdowns the first 2 times Dallas touched the ball, come off at halftime in pretty good shape, down by 8 points. 14-6 is our score from Phoenix. The Fruit of the Loom halftime.
On all the scores and highlights, including the upset of the day. Ernie, I think that probably Hugh Millen is the most popular guy in New England, at least for tonight.
Yeah, certainly one of the big stories of the NFL Week 4. Kenny Stabler here along with me, Ernie Johnson. You talk about Hugh Millen. What a guy, what a preparation he had. He's been sitting here for 3 weeks watching Tommy Hodson try to engineer that offense. 2-minute drill comes, and he was all over it.
Yeah, I think what that'll do for him, too, you know, it'll build a tremendous amount of confidence in the entire offense, especially Millen, to be able to bring your team from behind to win against a very good team, a 3-0 Houston Oilers, and it'll build a lot of confidence. Great job by the young man.
Yeah, 83-yard drive in the closing under 2 minutes, and Hugh Millen hitting Greg McMurtry with what turned out to be the game winner. You see the clock 15, 14, 13 ticking down, and McMurtry will take this home. Some shoddy tackling by the Oilers, and with 6 seconds left, there's McMurtry giving New England the shocker, 24-20 over the Houston Oilers, who are now 3-1. The Washington Redskins got a Brian Mitchell punt return for 6, 34-27. They beat Cincinnati. Minnesota and New Orleans, the Saints just keep on getting better. 26-0 over the Vikings. Craig Sager was there.
Jazz has always been inherent to the Dixieland lifestyle, but never has the tune when the Saints go marching in been as popular or as apropos as it has been during this football season.
The Saints have marched over their first 4 opponents, and although this was number 22 Gil Fenderdy's first NFL start, he was able to drum up 106 yards, a career high. The Saints' offensive line was in perfect step, with number 67 Stan Brock and number 85 Hobie Brennan leading the band. On this play for number 34, the man in that number, Craig Ironhead Hayward. On the other side of the field, the purple of the Vikings turned to the blues. Herschel Walker did not have a ball, and the heights of a week ago were sent below sea level by the percussion of the Dome Patrol defense.
Well, we've got 4 outstanding football players. I wouldn't trade them for any group in the National Football League, and they've all got their strengths and not many weaknesses. They got some weaknesses, but not many. But they're all outstanding football players. They all play hard. They practice hard. They prepare hard each week, and I think this is what makes them good football players. They have great talent, but they use their talent to their maximum and get the most out of their potential because of their work ethic and their preparation.
It's not only the linebackers, but the entire ensemble. And today, they did it one more at a time. Craig Sager from New Orleans, where the Saints have marched to the front.
Thank you, Craig. Now you take a look at the Lions and the Indianapolis Colts, two of the marquee names. Eric Dickerson only 17 yards on the day. Barry Sanders stole the show. 30 carries, 179 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Lions go to 3-1, beat the Colts, who are 0-4, 33-24. That was a career low for Dickerson, 17 yards. He did score twice. Cleveland Browns and New York Giants. Rodney Hampton, 104 yards in a 13-10 Giant victory. San Diego Chargers and Denver Broncos. Gaston Green is the story here. 27-19, the Broncos win it. Green had 127 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Seattle Seahawks and Kansas City Chiefs, 20-13, the Chiefs win that one. They had a 20-3 lead and then held on. The LA Raiders and the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons win it 21-17. Jay Schrader had the Raiders down there in scoring position late, but with 1:36 to play, he was intercepted by Tim McKyer. Here's Schrader.
There's no excuse. Offense has got to be able to go down and score. You got 5 minutes and 3 timeouts. If you can't score twice, you're just not good enough to be in this league.
And it's the Falcons winning it by 4. The San Francisco 49ers, there you see the score again, just in case you missed it. Let's reinforce it, 21-17. And now, the Niners, 27-10 winners over the LA Rams. Steve Young hit 21 out of 31. The Buffalo Bills held off Tampa Bay to go 4-0, 17-10. Pittsburgh Steelers and Philadelphia Eagles, 23-14. Philly, after 11 sacks last week, only 4 this week, but it does the trick. Green Bay Packers and Miami Dolphins. Win number 300 for Don Shula, 16-13. He joined some elite company, George Halas being the only other coach to ever get 300 victories, 325 in his career. Then you see Tom Landry, Curly Lambeau, and Chuck Noll. Here tonight on TNT, Dallas 14, Phoenix 6. They're at the break. Let's go back to Fred Hickman and the guys. Fred?
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We're going to be talking more about our game when Kevin Kiley joins me in just one moment. The game within the game. We'll talk about it after we come back to the fruit of the loom.
Right a hand.
Dallas will receive the kickoff as the third quarter gets underway. Don't forget, a week from tonight, we'll be in the Metrodome in Minneapolis, Denver, and the Vikings. 8 o'clock Eastern time. But a good second half do you hear. James Dixon and Derek Shepard are the deep men. Greg Davis for kicking off.
Football is a game of momentum, quite honestly, and you've heard it said many times, but I've always thought the first series in each half really set the tone for the rest of that half. So the Cowboys get the ball here. The momentum at the end of the first half went to the Cardinals. Important for Troy Aikman to get something going here.
Davis kicks it away. It's a high kick. It's fielded at the 10-yard line. Coming across is James Dixon, and he breaks free to the 30, and down he goes. Robert Massey, cornerback, in on the stop. Pretty good field position for Dallas as the third quarter gets underway.
You know, the kind of first half that Emmitt Smith had, you know, heck, you just want to keep giving him the ball. He's a good receiver. People don't realize that. He came in tied today for the NFC lead in receptions with 15. You see what kind of runner he is. But here's the kind of guy that you keep giving him the ball, and he's going to continue to make people miss.
Michael Irvin wide right. Darrell Johnston is the fullback in front of Emmitt Smith. Troy Aikman, of course, the Dallas quarterback. Nailed for a loss.
Freddie Joe Nunn, what a play, Skip.
He's a good one, boy.
Yeah, you know, you talk about a feel for the game. Freddie Joe Nunn, number 50, was blocked. But he just had a sense, a feel that Emmitt Smith was going to break outside, kind of spun out of the block and spun right into Emmitt Smith. And there's one thing about physical ability, there's the other thing about that innate sense of where people are, and Freddie Joe Nunn has that.
Alexander right to the left, Michael Irvin to the right. 2nd and 13. He'll throw for it. Emmitt Smith, 25, makes one man miss, gets to the 30, but a very short gain. Garth Jacks was there to bring him down along with Aeneas Williams.
I say, Emmitt Smith is fun to watch. He put a move there on Aeneas Williams, number 35, the corner. And this was just what Jimmy Johnson was saying yesterday. Flip the ball out there to Emmitt Smith. He'll make the first guy miss. Whoops. Yep. And lots of times he'll make the second guy miss.
Still, it's a 3rd and 10 situation. 13:35 remaining in our third quarter. Smith, the lone setback. Michael Irvin wide to the right. Possession play for Dallas. They're blitzing. The pass complete. Michael Irvin. First down, midfield. Fumble the football. Cardinals have it. Massey the tackle. Let's see who got the football. It was Massey who got the football, and Aeneas Williams on the tackle.
Remember, this is the 15th fumble caused by this team tonight. And that was a beautifully thrown ball by Troy Aikman to Michael Irvin. Just absolutely beautiful. He threw it early, got his head around it. A great catch by Irvin. But you see how he stripped it, Aeneas Williams? Again, that's coaching fumbles. Aeneas Williams went right around him and forced a fumble by just poking it right out of his arms.
So the Cardinals have great field position. They're on the 49-yard line. Now they've got to get one of the chains adjusted on the other side of the field.
See that graphic? 15 forced fumbles. That's incredible in itself. But the 13 recoveries, it means they have a lot of guys around. Watch the way Aeneas Williams. Now he is a rookie. You coach those things, and he has a feel for it. That's a great play by Williams, the rookie. 2 interceptions in his first 4 games and 2 forced fumbles.
The ball is on the 49 in Dallas territory. Ernie Jones wide to the left. Johnny Johnson is the running back. Tim Jordan playing at fullback in front of him in the I formation. Tupa will throw on first down, and he's going to go long, and it may be intercepted. It's incomplete down around the goal line. The pass was intended for Ernie Jones, but if anybody was going to catch that, it was going to be Larry Brown of the Cowboys.
And Larry Brown, number 24 for the Cowboys, a rookie that Tom Tupa was trying to go up top on here. A 12th round draft pick. It's amazing. 6 of the 12 round draft picks from the past draft have made NFL rosters this year. And what Jimmy Johnson was saying about Larry Brown is, hey, ever since he has been here, he has made plays. From training camp on, we decided, hey, we have to give him a shot. Let's give him a chance to play in the real thing, the real game. They responded there.
Jones again wide to the left against him. Tupa gives. Johnson's got nowhere to go. He's hit in the backfield, loses a couple. Jimmy Jones again. Boy, he is having some game, isn't he, Pat?
Yeah, he may not be a great defensive end, but he sure is an awfully good defensive tackle, is Jimmy Jones. Started a lot last year for the Cowboys. Started on and off. Hoped he was going to develop into that pass rusher, but he hasn't. And again, we've seen it tonight. 3 times, the tremendous burst. Those first 3 steps are critical for defensive linemen, and Jimmy Jones has a burst for those first 5 yards.
Johnny Johnson and Terrence Flagler in the backfield now for Phoenix. The Cardinals face a 3rd and 13 from the 48-yard line.
And again, 3rd and 13 is not their kind of down. I mean, you have Troy Aikman, he can drive the ball is one thing, but for Tom Tupa, you want him in the 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4 type of situations.
And 13 for Phoenix.
This is a situation where the Cardinal wide receivers are going to have to do it. They're the ones that are going to have to get down there 14, 15 yards.
Tupa has time, has all the time in the world. Throws complete, but well short of the first down around the 45-yard line to his running back, Johnny Johnson, but he had nowhere to go. Robert Williams, a 6-year pro out of Baylor, made the stop.
The throw just doesn't make any sense on 3rd and 13, quite honestly. Maybe he didn't have somewhere else to go, but that's just not going to get it for you, and it's not going to get it you in field goal range either. You know, give a wide receiver a chance downfield.
Rich Camarillo will kick it away. Derek Shepard will try to return it. He stands at his 10-yard line. 11:45 left in the 3rd quarter here. Pat Hayden, Skip Carey with it from Phoenix. Camarillo kicks it away, and they let it bounce, and they can down this ball, and they do it at the 2-yard line. It was Tyrone Stowe who got to it, and that worked out beautifully for Camarillo and the Cardinals.
Well, I tell you, when your offense struggles a little bit, special teams can win a game. As a matter of fact, Bugle was talking about his punter and his kicker yesterday, so we've got some pretty good ones, and our special teams ought to win 2 games for us, and punts like this can do it.
43-yard kick, no return, so Troy Aikman and company are in some trouble here.
You know what Camarillo did a nice job of there? If you punt the ball with the nose up and it hits, it's going to bounce straight up or to the side and not into the end zone.
Troy Aikman brings him out. The fullback Johnston, nothing there at all. The entire center of the line in on the stop. Jim Waller was there first, the big guy out of UCLA.
Yeah, Jim Waller, the nose tackle, has done a wonderful job tonight of really playing sideline to sideline. He knifed threw an arm out there, made a play. Garth Jacks finished him off.
It's 2nd and 10 from the 3-yard line. That's the first time a running play has been called by Dallas in which Emmitt Smith didn't carry the ball.
These next 2 plays are the biggest of the night for Troy Aikman.
Novacek in motion. Emmitt Smith pops out of there and gets to the 7-yard line. He's well short of the first down, but he got him some breathing room. Tim McDonald in on the stop.
Good tackle by Tim McDonald. Got some help by Robert Massey. And remember, McDonald earlier was saying, hey, he can make you miss, and you have to bring an extra load when you're tackling Emmitt Smith. Well, this time Tim McDonald did. Number 94, Faulkner, slows him down. McDonald is there. Massey finishes him off. And as we've seen tonight, when the Cardinals have played well on defense, they've had 3, 4, 5 guys around the ball.
3rd and 5 from the 8-yard line. He wants all of it. Nowhere near anybody. Aeneas Williams on the coverage. So the Cardinals defense does the job, and the Cowboys will kick it away. Mike Saxon will punt it. Ricky Prohl will try to return it.
Boy, you know, and it was the great tackle by McDonald and Massey on Smith, Emmitt Smith, that was the difference on that defensive series.
Saxon stands in his own end zone. Prohl stands at his 44. A little bit. The ball takes a bounce, however, fielded by Prohl. He's at midfield and out of bounds. So great field position once again for the Cardinals. They'll start from the 50, but they trail by 8 points. 10:27 left in our third.
The 2-point conversion. No, we don't have that, no.
Good.
Yeah.
1st and 10 from the 35.
They've been successful with Johnny Johnson in the first half. They got to get him going again.
And he has 5, 6, maybe 7 yards. Jim Jeffcoat on the stop, but he dragged him forward for a sizable gain.
Yeah, you know, really a much different type of runner than Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith is a stop and start and dart type of receiver. We talked about him, you know, people bouncing off him. Johnny Johnson is a smooth kind of guy with a great body lean, and you saw him there carry 3, 4 guys for an extra couple of yards.
Ricky Prohl is wide to the left, Ernie Jones to the right. It is 2nd and 3 from the 42-yard line. Johnson again, short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1. Jack Del Rio, the little middle linebacker, in on the stop. So was Tony Casillas.
So Joe Bugle has to be really happy, I think, with the way his offensive line has come off. And Tim Jordan, the H-back, number 85, really continues to do just a fabulous job of blocking. That time, once again, in motion to the little trap lead for Johnny Johnson. Well, he's going to have 2 sore shoulders tomorrow. 94 yards on 21 carries for Johnny Johnson tonight. So the game is just as we expected. Johnny Johnson was going to carry the load for the Cardinals, Emmitt Smith for the Cowboys.
3rd and 1 from the 44-yard line. Walter Reeves, the tight end, in motion. Johnson got it. First down at the 47-yard line. James Washington in on the tackle along with Vincent Smith.
What a neat little run there by Johnny Johnson and the good offensive line surge. It looked like Johnson at first was thinking, hey, I may die for it if I have to, but it was Ron Wolfley, number 24, the lead blocker, that just buried the linebacker, and then Johnny Johnson just cut around it for the first down. We are seeing some very good lead blocking by Wolfley, by Tim Jordan for the Cardinals tonight.
Here come the Cardinals. From the 47-yard line, they're still in their own territory, and they still trail by 8. Two-minute throws, hit, drop, loose football, big scramble. Cardinals have it back at the 42. 42-yard line. Let's see if Tupa's all right. Looked like Jordan may have been the guy who covered the football finally.
Boy, I tell you, Jim Jeffcoat, if he just falls on it, it's Cowboys ball. He's trying to score a touchdown.
Once again, the pressure. Tony Tolbert.
Yeah, Tony Tolbert from the outside. Part of the ongoing experiment by Jimmy Johnson, kind of trying to create defensive linemen or defensive ends out of linebackers. And Tony Tolbert got a great start upfield. And Jeffcoat, if he falls on it, Cowboys have the ball inside Cardinal territory.
2nd and 15 from the 42. Randall Hill wide to the left. Ernie Jones wide to the right. Quick pop pass. That's Hill. He's hit and forced out of bounds at midfield. It'll be 3rd and about 8-yard line. 8 yards to go. Larry Brown made the stop.
Ted Plum, the offensive receiver coach, was saying about Randall Hill, number 81 for the Phoenix Cardinals. Hey, I coach guys like Willie Gault in Chicago, and Randall Hill has that kind of speed and can still adjust as he did there, adjust on the run.
Jordan is out of the game. Terrence Flagler checks in to team with Anthony Thompson in the backfield. Thompson, the highly regarded running back from Indiana, has taken a back seat here to Johnny Johnson. 7:23 left. 3rd down. They make it 7 yards to go from the 50. Tupa has pressure. He's hit. He's sacked. Loose football. Let's see who's got it.
Cowboys.
Cowboys is right. Robert Williams, a cornerback on the blitz, forced the fumble. And Tony Casillas came away with it.
Here's Casillas right here. The blitz that comes from the outside, and Casillas makes the recovery. Robert Williams, number 23, who's a corner, just timed it perfectly. He was even on the front side. And there's Casillas for the recovery. Remember the play earlier, Jeffcoat tried to pick it up and run with it. That time Casillas just falls on it. And now the Cowboys have the ball inside Cardinal territory.
At the 41-yard line.
He got mauled.
14-6 Dallas is our score. Emmett Smith tripped up as he reaches the 40-yard line. Boy, if that play isn't made, he goes for a while. Garth Jacks upended it. 6:55 left in the 3rd quarter.
You know, the adjustments, I think, are always kind of the interesting thing about professional football. Generally, the team that adjusts better wins. And look what they have done here with Emmett Smith. The last 7 rushes, only those 21 yards after the big start. And again, Fritz Shermer on his defense, he's getting more defensive linemen penetrating and not giving Emmett Smith a chance to get started.
2nd and 9 from the 40. Aikman will throw. Oh, is it intercepted? No, incomplete. Garth Jacks was there to knock it away. That ball almost landed right in his lap. Or did Darrell Johnston come up with it? They say that he did. How did Jacks miss it?
Yeah, I thought he threw it right to Garth Jacks.
I did too.
Well, Darrell Johnson out of Syracuse has always been a very good receiver. A fullback who's a good lead blocker, but with a soft hands. And he's developing into kind of a go-to short receiver for Troy Aikman.
3rd down, 3 yards to go. Michael Irvin wide to the right.
Matchup to watch. Tim McDonald, number 46, on Jay Novacek, the tight end.
Irvin in motion. 3rd and 3. Aikman is rushed. He throws it away. Intended for Novacek, but he had no chance.
Yeah. Tim McDonald has just done a superb job on Jay Novacek. I thought coming into this game, Jay Novacek might catch 10 passes. But in all the passing situations, the 3rd and 3s and 4s and 5s, Tim McDonald has just taken a mano-a-mano, bump and run, and just blanketed him.
Ken Willis is going to try to kick one from about 52 yards. Novacek will hold.
Career long is 54 yards.
The rain begins to fall and fall hard in Phoenix. There's the boot. It is no good, short. He kicked it down the middle, but short. The wind is really swirling here. The rain is pelting down.
Yeah, what we have, and it really is gusty now. He is kicking with the wind on this attempt.
Look at that rain pelt down in Phoenix. We'll be back. Ooh, look at that just a few seconds ago. The Dallas Cowboys, by the way, the first 2 times they touched the ball, they drove for touchdowns. Since then, they have only 2 first downs all night. So the Cardinals done a good job on them, but they can't dent the scoreboard themselves. Look at that rain. Randall Hill is wide to the left. Tupa to throw for Hill. It's complete. He's covered immediately at the 39-yard line by Larry Brown.
Well, he likes to call himself Thrill Hill. Some at the University of Miami called him Overkill Hill. But he will be a threat once they get him going and fully healthy. He's got a hamstring injury now, but he can go up top and be a real deep threat for the Cardinals this year.
Ricky Prohl is in the slot. The give is to Johnson, and he is drilled by Tony Tolbert, and he got absolutely nothing.
You know, he really was lucky not to fumble this ball because Tolbert just got a clean shot at him. You know, interesting thing about this game, I think, Skip, it started out as an offensive, it looked like it was going to be a blowout. The 2 touchdowns by the Cowboys, but since then, it has really settled into being a defensive game.
3rd down, 6 yards to go from the 38-yard line. Tom Tupa in the pocket, has time, throws, complete, out of bounds, 1st down. Ernie Jones, the reception.
They give Tom Tupa some credit. He hung in there, and he has hung in that pocket all night tonight. Very good protection for Tupa, allows him to wind up and throw the ball. And a very wide open receiver, Ernie Jones on the left side, picking on the rookie Larry Brown. Tupa's been hanging in there in that pocket pretty well tonight.
1st and 10. The ball is marked at the 49-yard line. Hill is wide to the left. Anthony Thompson, the running back now. Tupa, play action. He eludes the rush. Throws low. Intended for Hill. Danny Hendricks on the coverage. 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Our crew up here rushing around trying to save the monitors.
I'm worried about them saving themselves as they lean over this ledge up here.
By the time they get it all fixed up, the rain stops.
Well, there has been a drought out here in the western part of the United States for the last 5 years, so some people are happy to see some rain in Phoenix tonight.
2nd down, 10 yards to go.
You know, there's been no rhythm with the Cardinal passing attack. He doesn't have a go-to guy like Troy Aikman does, you know?
Tupa has time. Tupa throws, almost intercepted. A good effort. Danny Hendricks made the diving try. Randall Hill was the intended receiver, and the offensive woes continue for the Cardinals. Now Bill Bates checks into the game along with Robert Williams as they go to their nickel package. Tupa now 9 of 18, but just for 81 yards.
Well, you know, Manny Hendricks has come in now and taken Larry Brown's place at the right corner, number 45 for the Cowboys. Did a pretty good job in the last 2 plays. Been all over the wide receiver without the pass interference.
3:42 left, 3rd quarter. Possession play. 3rd and 10 from the 46. Tupa to throw, has time, has a Ernie Jones. It is complete for a 1st down. He bobbled it, but then caught it before he went out of bounds. Isaac Holt was defending on the play, but he was beaten.
Watch Isaac Holt as he steps inside. When he steps inside, it opens up a lot of room for the wide receiver Ernie Jones to run the out route. See how he steps inside? He's taking the inside away, but that leaves 8-10 yards to the outside for that particular route. He guessed wrong on that one, where the coverage was the wrong coverage for the out cut.
Anthony Thompson is the running back. 3:15 left in the quarter. Thompson on a sweep is hit. Flags fly. He's down at the 40-yard line. 3 separate flags land along the line of scrimmage. Jimmy Jones among those, and on the stop once again. Let's see what the flags are all about. Jimmy Jones having a little trouble getting up. Jones, the third-year man from Miami, a 280-pounder. Danny Noonan will take his place.
Two different players.
Two different players called for holding.
And 85. One of the penalties is declined. The other penalty is accepted.
Louis Sharp and Tim Jordan both hold.
Down.
Well, Skip, let's take a look at both of the holes. Here is Jordan right here. Number 85. Well, my telestrator's out a little bit, but number 85, he is the tight end. The left tackle, number 67, Louis Sharp. The hold by number 85 with his left hand. Louis Sharp tackles or gets his arms around James Washington, and there's both calls.
1st and 20. The ball is on the 49. 3 minutes remaining in our third quarter. John Jackson is wide to the left. Put it up. He has time. He throws a screen. He breaks one tackle, down to go. Anthony Thompson came away with the ball. Danny Noonan made the tackle near midfield.
I think the Cardinals just looking for a change of pace here a little bit with Anthony Thompson, and it looked like it was a double screen. It looked like it was pretty well set up, but Danny Noonan, number 73, did a terrific job for the Cowboys of reading the screen, running out there in the flat, and then making the play.
2nd down, 19 yards to go. John Jackson wide to the left. Anthony Thompson is the running back. Super Rose has all the time in the world. Throws complete. Short of the first down. Ernie Jones made the stop and paid the price.
Ernie Jones has done a pretty good job, other than dropping the touchdown pass, but he's danced on the sideline a couple times. We've seen him catch the ball over the middle that time and take a shot. Right in the slot, number 86. Again, it's just a feel for the zone. He knows there's a linebacker there. He gets around the linebacker, begins to work his way back in between 3 defenders. If he's not coming back, maybe that ball gets picked off.
Vincent Smith, the one who had the solid hit. 3rd and 7 at the 38.
They've been awfully good on 3rd down tonight, and even without throwing the ball to Ricky Prohl, who's not caught a pass.
He avoids the pressure. He can run. Now he's being chased by Bates, and he throws out incomplete, and the flag flies. I don't know if Bates got this face mask or what.
They're called grounding.
All right, we will be grounded.
Yeah, I think Tupa's got a legitimate argument there because he had a receiver over there on the sideline.
The veteran Bill Bates out of Tennessee, a 10-year man, was the guy who applied the pressure.
Ricky Prohl was their leading receiver, has been for the last year or so. Ricky Prohl, number 87.
Intentional grounding on the offense, number 19.
But he was covered like a blanket on that particular play. He's in the slot, in the middle of the screen, number 87. Number 23, Robert Williams has him. He's bracketed by the safety, James Williams. There's nowhere for Tupa to get him the ball.
Rich Camarillo in to punt it away. Derek Shepard is the deep man.
And he's punting into a pretty good win right now, Skip.
Here's the boot. He gets it away, and it's a terrific kick, maybe too good. It is. It went into the end zone. He may have been thinking with that wind he could hit it as hard as he wanted. A 53-yard kick. No return. We have 1:01 remaining in the third quarter, but hold the phone. Yet another flag has been thrown. Drop the hanky has been a popular game tonight.
The Cowboys will probably decline that one. Just take the ball on the 20.
Player, number 97, on the offensive team was down the field prior to the kick. The penalty is declined. First down.
So it is declined, and Dallas will have the ball. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. 1:01 remaining in the third quarter from Phoenix, and back to the Valley of the Sun right after this on TNT.
Well, the Cowboys need to get back into a rhythm. Get Emmitt Smith the ball. Have your offensive linemen open up some holes like they did in those first couple of drives.
Emmett's going to try. There's nothing there, but he breaks a tackle, squirts through for about 7 yards. He's a tough little guy to corral.
Yeah, you're right. He just kind of bounces off people. He stops and he starts, and he can make people miss in a small area. It's one thing if you can do it out in the open field, but he can make it happen in a small area. That shows you the defensive adjustments the Cardinals have made, and Fritz Shermer, the new defensive coordinator for the Cardinals, deserves some credit. They haven't let Emmitt Smith get into a lot of open space this second half.
It's a gain of 8. It's 2nd and 2. Daryl Johnston in motion. He's blocking for Smith, and he fails to get the first down. Garth Jacks was there to knock him down.
Boy, Garth Jacks and Ken Harvey, the outside linebacker. Jacks is number 53, the inside linebacker on the left of the screen. 56 is Ken Harvey. See the way he takes on the block of Daryl Johnson and then refuses to go down. I mean, you have plays like that by outside linebackers like Ken Harvey, you are going to make some stops. And Jacks inside. Wow.
3 quarters have come to a close here. It's still 14-6 Dallas. Dallas yard line, they lead 14-6.
Yeah, if you're the Cowboys, I think you give it to Emmitt Smith, force him to stop him.
They're going to throw for it. And it's complete to Michael Irvin. He breaks one tackle, breaks another. Breaks another. Down to the 46-yard line. Garth Jacks finally caught him from behind, along with Ken Harvey.
Now, Michael Irvin is one of those competitive wide receivers. He really plays the position like a nose tackle, a guy that will go over the middle, catch slant passes, make guys miss, wants the ball in critical situations. He'll stick his hand down and keep his balance if he has to. But I tell you, this is a clutch receiver, Michael Irvin. He may not go over the top for 80 yards, but he can make a lot of plays like that. That's a big play by Irvin and the Cowboys.
First down from the 46-yard line. Novacek in motion. Emmitt Smith. He squirts through. Down to the 32-yard line. Another first down.
You know, Jay Novacek has really been shut out as a wide receiver, but he can hurt you some other ways too. He's the man in motion, number 84 at the fullback position, but watch the block that he throws for Emmitt Smith. He just dominates the outside guy. Freddie Joe Nunn, the outside linebacker, gave Emmitt Smith plenty of time to cut back up inside and pick up the first. So Novacek can beat you as a receiver, and he can beat you as a block.
Smith, 17 carries, 134 yards. Dallas on their first drive since the first quarter. Novacek in motion. Emmitt again. Nothing there. He loses yardage. In on the play, Eric Hill. Craig Patterson as well.
Yeah, that's an 8-man front, defensive front by the Cardinals, one-on-one on the outside guys. And if you get that kind of front, you have to go up top. Give your wide receivers a chance to beat the DBs, defensive backs.
It's a loss of 4. It's 2nd and 14 from the 36. We have 13 minutes remaining in our game.
Well, Joe Bugle said, hey, if you can't get excited about this game, home opener, Cowboys coming in, check your pulse because you're dead. That's what he was telling his team all week.
Aikman to throw, has time, has a man, but it's incomplete. It was intended for Novacek again.
Well, have the Cardinals done a good job on Novacek?
Zordich and McDonald have done a heck of a job on him.
Man. You see what he did in the first 3 games, and that's obviously the problem when you're the go-to guy. Defensive teams are going to make adjustments. In the first half, we saw the Cowboys counter-punch, if you will, and throw the ball to Daryl Johnson, the fullback who was wide open. They have not come back and thrown the ball to Daryl Johnson.
3rd down, 14 yards to go.
The only wide receiver that's caught a pass has been Michael Irvin.
He's caught 2, and he fumbled one away, and he goes wide right. Complete. Novacek gets up again, but he is stopped right there, and he's going to be well short of the first down.
I'll tell you, Troy Aikman showed some just terrific courage hanging in the pocket because he knew he was going to get hit. And again, just trying to find a way through some traffic. Just bouncing through linebackers, an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, and then making a tough catch. That's what happens with Novacek. But watch Aikman as he hung in. Now, he knows he's going to get drilled. Well, he didn't really because a good offensive block by the lineman. But he hung in there, and threw the ball away from the defender.
Ken Willis will try from 45 yards out. He missed it.
Wow.
The score stays the same.
A lot of missed field goals tonight.
I wonder if that wind is a factor, but it just looked like he was wide from the time he touched it off. So the score stays 14-6. Willis 0 for 3 from 48, 52, and now from 45.
Up about it.
Yes, they are. And Tom Tupa brings his team out. He's going to throw on first down. He trails by 8. He's in trouble. He gets it away low. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 will be the result. Tim Jordan, the intended receiver. Don't forget, we'll be in Minneapolis next week. Denver and the Vikings, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Pat Hayden, Skip Carey, our entire TNT crew will be there to bring it to you.
Well, Herschel Walker's had a rough day today. Indeed, he's had a very good season for the Vikings.
Don't forget the Stadium Show postgame. Those are some of the things you can look forward to there. And Pat will sprint down there to join the guys.
You want to come down?
Okay. 2nd and 10. Nothing there. Johnson got absolutely nothing. Tony Casillas in on the stop.
Tony Casillas has been making plays from sideline to sideline all season long. Number 75. So he is the guy that they got in a trade from Atlanta. He got into Jerry Glanville's doghouse, but before last year, 2 consecutive years, over 100 tackles. And after that, a couple of headaches as well. But he is going to stop and stuff a lot of runs inside.
3rd and 12 from the 25. Terrence Flagler in at running back for the Cardinals. Tupa will put it up. Has time. Complete. Kroll has it for a first down.
Oh boy, did he get drilled.
He can't get up, but he hung on to that football. With 10:47 left in our game.
Man. Beautiful pass protection for Tom Tupa. Really got it started. Watch these guys. Bill Lewis, the center. He gets some help from his left guard. Louis Sharp, the left tackle, number 67. No one even near him. Now, top of the screen, 87. He bumps in behind the corner, in front of the safety, finds a soft spot, and then takes a helmet right in the ribs.
Okay, and as they tend to Prohl, will break away for this message. Toward Ricky Prohl left the field under his own power. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. The give is to Townsend straight ahead, and not much there. He got a couple of yards. Vincent Smith in on the stop.
Here was the shot right in the kidney by James Washington. Man.
And Prohl, after missing 1 play, is right back in the game. He's a tough cookie.
You know,
Terrence Flagler in as well.
Toughness or stupidity, one or the other. But I tell you, the Cardinals are going to get probably 2 more drives, 3 at tops after this one. So it's important. They need 2 scores down 14-6.
2nd 9 at the 46. The throw is complete. Flags fly. Flagler with the ball, and he's down inside the 40 to the 37. Let's see what the flags are all about.
Boy, nice touch that time by Tom Tupa.
20-yard pickup. Let's see if it counts.
Yeah, it's against the Cowboys, but boy, that sidearm throw that by Tom Tupa there right around an on-rushing defensive lineman. Watch the release. Comes from the sidearm. Again, knows he's going to take a shot, which indeed he does from Ken Norton.
Use of the hands on the defense, number 24.
And
we
a
had
terrific
hands to the face.
move there by Terrence Flagler. Perfectly thrown ball, though, by Tupa under duress.
So here come the Cowboys, down by 8 points, 9:50 remaining. Flagler stays in there as the running back. Tupa to throw. He does. It's complete to Flagler again. Out of bounds at the 26, and another flag flies, and it may be roughing the passer.
Now, we're really seeing some maturation here.
No, wait a minute. It's going to be, excuse me, Pat, but it's going to be against the Cardinal.
Yeah. In Tom Tupa, nonetheless. I mean, here's a guy who's hanging in there and taking some shots and delivering the ball on the money. Again, we talked about the process of the learning process for a quarterback in the National Football League.
Offense, number 68, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
That's Joe Wolf.
Joe Wolf called for the penalty, but then look what they miss. The old face mask trick.
That's a 15. That should be a 15-yarder. That's a flagrant face mask.
First and 20 at the 47-yard line. Flagler's still in there, linebackers. A valuable receiver for the Cardinals. Tupa to throw. Has all the time in the world. Has a man. Incomplete. Lewis was, Jones was there, but the pass was too tall for him.
Yeah, that was a nice adjustment by Ernie Jones. Tonight we have seen him run a couple of deep balls. They either been straight down the field or kind of post patterns in the middle of the field. That time he faked inside and broke outside and was really wide open. Should have been a very easy play, easy catch, and it would have been a first down.
Second and 20 from the 47-yard line. John Jackson wide to the right. Running back behind Tupa. Flags fly. Play on the house. Pass is complete to Jackson, and he is to the 39-yard line. Vincent Smith ran him out. Looked like the Cowboys were offside.
Yeah, I thought Casillas got back, quite honestly, but it was Tony Casillas, number 75.
Offsides. Defense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
They'll repeat
Second
the down. They'll take the 5-yard penalty.
Yep. Oops, daisy.
Couldn't quite get back in time. So it's second and 15. The ball will be marked at the 42-yard line. We have 9:14 remaining in our game. It's still 14-6.
Nonetheless, Casillas has played well this evening.
John Jackson wide to the left. Ricky Prohl wide to the right. Tupa throws complete to Flagler. Close to the first down at the 31-yard line. Vincent Smith there to shove him out of bounds.
You know, Tom Tupa is still a young quarterback. We're watching him grow up. This is the 4th year in the National Football League for Tom Tupa. And this ball, I mean, nobody can throw this ball any better. He threw it early. He threw it when he was on the break, right out in front of him, away from the receiver, away from the defender. But, you know, he's a young quarterback in the sense that he hasn't gone through as much as most quarterbacks in their 4th year in the league. Didn't play a down last season. Played every down thus far this year and gotten better every game.
3rd and 4 at the 31. Tupa to throw. Has time. Throws, has a man. Complete. First down. 17-yard line. Ernie Jones.
Now, Joe Bugle felt that when Tim Rosenbaugh, his starting quarterback, went down, he wasn't going to have a chance. But right now with Tom Tupa, he has to feel awfully good that the combination of Tupa and Jones have done what they have done tonight.
Ernie Jones, 7 receptions, 82 yards. They mark the ball at the 17. If the Cardinals can put one in here, we'll have an interesting few minutes.
We talked to Cardinal players. They say, last year we hoped we could win. This year, we believe we can win.
They throw on every down now, and he is sacked. Jim Jeffcoat. Well, you got to run the ball every now and then to keep honest, don't you? That's the first sack, rather the 3rd sack for Dallas.
I'll tell you, that is a huge play by Jeffcoat, who's every time it seems like the Cardinals get down into scoring territory, Jim Jeffcoat comes up with a big play. Once it was on a reverse, once he taps the ball, knocks the ball down, and then he sacks the quarterback.
Prohl to the right, Jackson to the left. Tupa to throw. He hits the short man. Ernie Jones complete. Back close to the original line of scrimmage.
Larry Brown is down, the rookie defensive back. He took a shot right in the shoulder pad, or shoulder blade.
It's going to be 3rd and 9 from the 16. The clock ticks away. 7 minutes left.
Okay, now remember, with 8 points down, they're going to need the 2 scores, right? They need a touchdown and field goal. So don't take a sack here. Don't turn the ball over, because if you don't get the first down, you can still kick the field goal. 6:53, plenty of time left.
3rd and 9 is the situation. Tupa to throw. For very little yardage.
That's okay.
Jackson made the reception. Bates the hit.
You get this is a dangerous pass. This ball is in the air much too long for just a 3 or 4 yard gain, because you pick that one off at 7 the other way. If you're gonna throw down here in a situation like that, take a shot in the end zone. If they get the 3 here, they still need the touchdown, and they'll have probably 2 more series skips to get that done if their defense holds the Cowboys.
28-yard field goal try by Greg Davis. Connie Quay will snap it. Jordan will hold it. Nothing wrong with that. Right down the middle. They make it officially a 29-yard field goal. It comes with 5:58 remaining. 14-9 is our score.
Catching and running. Thurman Thomas, again, after an incredible year a year ago, trying to put it back-to-back. Great seasons together.
Here we go. It's a 14-9 game. That kick is really sucked. There'll be no return, and the Cowboys will go to work at the 20-yard line. That Cardinal drive, 11 plays, 62 yards, all through the air, which is not really the way that Phoenix wanted to operate tonight. Well, it worked out for them.
You know, give Joe Bugel and his staff some credit for some of the adjustments they made, and as well as they've played. After those first couple of drives where Dallas came out and Emmitt Smith just went boom, boom, and they're up 14-0. They've hung in there. They've chipped away at that lead. They've played very good defense, good special teams, and with 5:52 remaining in the fourth quarter, they have a chance of winning. But it starts right now with their defense.
From the 20, here we go. Aikman's going to throw on first down. Diving try, incomplete. Phoenix up and running with the ball, but that's an incomplete pass. Folks, don't get excited. Second down, 10 yards to go at the 20-yard line.
I guess when you get so accustomed, so used to picking up so many fumbles, Aeneas Williams, number 35, I tell you, this kid is a rookie, and he has played well since the day he came here. That football arrogance about him, a guy who acts like he deserves to be out here and on the field.
Second and 10 is the situation. All that was the sound and fury signifying nothing.
Aeneas Williams, number 3 draft pick out of Southern, has a brother named Achilles. Both names out of Greek mythology. His was Aeneas, name of a foot soldier in Greek mythology. Thought you'd be interested in that, Skip.
Thank you. Second and 10. Smith has 5 of them. Has 10 of them. Has a first down. Aeneas Williams with a stop, but they move the chains and keep the clock clicking away with 5.5 minutes left.
Emmitt Smith can be a crowd quieter. You play linebacker, you try to stop him, particularly when you're getting holes and blocking like that. Stepnoski, Daryl Johnson again, the wide receiver Michael Irvin. And there are 4 good blocks there for Emmitt Smith.
19 carries, 143 yards for him. Come out with exactly 5 minutes left in the game. Novacek in motion. Emmitt Smith pops it again. 50, 40, 31-yard line. Zordich runs him out of bounds. What a night he is having.
Yeah, he is having a night, but again, Skip, there's a big hole there. In the NFL, you don't get too many holes like that, and Emmitt Smith has had a lot of them. Watch how it opens up. Stepnoski on the middle linebacker, Eric Hill. The other offensive linemen did their job. And I tell you, it's just been a beautiful job of blocking and then running by Emmitt Smith.
Now 20 carries, 179 yards after that 36-yard scamper.
Daryl Johnson, the lead back, again blocked his linebacker. And no one's even getting a shot at him until he gets 8-10 yards into the backfield.
They mark it at the 30-yard line. Stay with it. And he got close to 5 more yards, and now a flag goes down.
Yeah, that's going to be on Robert Massey, number 40, I believe, who was trying to strip him of the ball. And
False play with 4:40 left in the game.
Kind of pounded him when he was on the ground.
Face mask. Defense. 5-yard penalty.
It's a 5-yard face mask.
It will be first down and short yardage.
Again, trying to make something happen. It was actually number 38, Michael Zordich, who got his left hand in there. Well, it wasn't, certainly wasn't blatant, but nonetheless, it was a penalty.
14-9 is our score. In motion. Emmett Smith to the 20. May have the first down.
Again, if you're Jimmy Johnson here, you just want to think about potentially really the 3 points, and again make it a two type of score situation for the Cardinals. And with 4:18, that's what his head coach is thinking about now. Get this 3 back on and force the Cardinals to score twice on them.
By the time Dallas comes out and snaps the ball, less than 4 minutes will remain in the game.
Don't take a sack. Don't throw an interception. Don't fumble it. Give your kicker a chance.
2nd and 1. Smith is hit behind the line. Mike Jones was there. Ron Sadler was there.
I think Craig Patterson was there too. They had a lot of guys there. There's Fritz Sherman, the defensive coordinator, who had about 8 guys close to the line of scrimmage there, and nobody stayed blocked very long. You see, again, the 4 or 5 white jerseys, that's what Fritz has coached for this team, and they have done a remarkable job with the 16 turnovers this year they've caused.
68,813, if I heard the PA man correctly, the 2nd largest crowd in Cardinal history, but a lot of them headed for home already, and that's surprising. This is far from over. 3rd and 3. Aikman is in trouble. He throws it away to avoid the sack.
That's okay. Again, just what you want to do, and maybe making sure that you get the chance for at least the 3 to put you up by the 2
But you know what? They had a 1st and 1 after the face mask penalty and were unable to get the first down, and thus were unable to run the clock.
Well, you're right, and there's the shot by Ken Harvey, who's again one of those underrated players in the league that we have seen this year. But Willis 0 for 3 on the night. This one from 40.
41 to be precise. Let's watch it. He's got this one. Yes, sir. So it's an 8-point game again with 2:58 remaining. 41-yard field goal for Willis. 17-9 is our score. And now the Cardinals, well, their last drive, they went 62 yards all through the air, and in all likelihood, they'll be going through the air one more time here because time is their enemy.
Yeah, it really hasn't been easy for Joe Bugel's offensive team, and you see them wiggling there. They're going to be in their 2-minute drill right away. They have a hurry-up offense, which they've used. And, you know, every game comes down to 4 or 5 plays. Remember back in the first half when Ernie Jones, the wide receiver down in the corner of the end zone, number 86, top of the screen, he had a chance to catch this for a real chance at a touchdown. It would have been a score. Instead, he drops it. They have to kick a field goal. So now that's the difference. Instead of trying to kick a field goal here to potentially win the game, they have to score twice.
Anthony Edwards and John Jackson are deep. There's the kick. Edwards tries to get outside, cannot, and fails to reach the 20, and a flag flies. 68,814 is the paid attendance. It is the 2nd largest crowd in their history.
And
spot of the foul.
Jimmy Jones caught for the illegal block, and so the Cardinals will start deep in their own territory.
Tom Tupa had a pretty good evening. 8 of 30, 184 yards. But what he needs to do here, 247. Remember, the 2 scores, and one of them has to be a touchdown. He's going to get one more series after this. Get the ball to a wide receiver on the move.
Flagler is the running back. Tupa runs out and is knocked down at about the 9, and another flag flies. Boy, the penalties in this game have been a joke. Jeff Coder's had a big night. Made the stop.
Say there's one situation where they missed Tim Rosenbaugh, their starting quarterback, who's out for the whole year. He rushed for 470 yards a year ago, did Tim Rosenbaugh. And on plays like that, he could scamper out of there and pick up a first down. You know, 470 yards, that's a lot of first downs. That's a lot of situations where you keep drives alive. Tupa's a different type of quarterback.
Use of the hands by the defense, hands to the face, number 24, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Larry Brown was the man penalized. A 5-yard penalty and a first down. 2:39 left in the game. They've got to get it in and get it in again in 2:39. Tupa to throw, has time, has a man, complete, not out of bounds. Ricky Prohl out at the 21-yard line, still short of the first down. 2:34 left in the game.
And with 2 timeouts remaining for them as well, but they have a long way to go. They've been very methodical all night offensively, but there's still an opportunity here. They say Tom Tupa, or the coaches believe, is a very good long ball thrower.
He has time. He throws a short ball. Flagler with it, complete. And it's enough for a first down out near the 29-yard line, but the clock continues to roll, and we near the 2-minute warning. Cardinals want to go in a hurry. Dallas taking as much time as they can, and the clock stops with 2:19 left.
Tupa has had some experience bringing from his team from behind, and against these Cowboys. It was 2 years ago he did that very thing and beat him. I believe it was 24-20.
He throws, sideline pattern, complete to Prohl, breaks a tackle, and is knocked down at the 45-yard line by James Washington.
Good effort.
We reached the 2-minute warning.
Good effort by Ricky Prohl, but he really should have gotten out of bounds. He thought he had a chance to make it a big play inside. Isaac Holt, number 30, has been a gambling defensive back for as long as he's been in the league. Goes high. Prohl goes right underneath it. Remember the shot that Prohl took just a few plays ago? Then he comes back and makes a play like that. He's a young man, can catch the ball and run. Makes a lot of people miss. Strong runner, man. And again, I think he surprised everybody with the speed.
Cardinals, by the way, have just 2 timeouts remaining. They took one early in the half. That could hurt them before this thing is over. Tupa rolls left, has pressure, drops it off to Flagler at the 45, at the 50, makes a good move and spins down to the 42-yard line. Tony Tolbert finally caught up with him. He's had a fine game too. A minute 45 left.
Yeah, you're right. Tony Tolbert chasing plays down from behind, rushing the passer. He has had a remarkable evening, quite honestly.
320 yards for Phoenix, but they haven't been able to get the ball in the end zone. Tupa to throw again. Short one again. Flagler again. Hit again. 38-yard line. The clock ticks with 1:25.
Again, they're thinking field goal and touchdown. Clearly, you want to get the touchdown first to give your field goal kicker a shot at a long one. But every time the Cardinals have gotten down here, Jim Jeffcoat in particular has played well for the Dallas defense.
An illegal procedure call against Phoenix makes things that much tougher. 1:25, as you see, remaining in the game, and they trail by 8.
Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
So we repeat the down. It'll be first down one more time, but they have to score twice. And Joe Bugle, you can see the frustration on his face.
Joe Bugle was saying his 84-year-old father back in Pittsburgh watching this thing with his hat on, baseball hat on, watching this thing is frustrated as well. Screaming the whole game, he said.
Tupa runs out of time. Has it knocked away. Good defensive play.
And Robert Williams.
The clock stops with 1:18 remaining. It's 2nd and 15 from the 47.
You know, Tupa has had some success. 3 passes this year of over 50 yards.
Can I ask you a question, though? Isn't it time for them to throw the ball into the end zone? They've got to score twice.
Right.
They've got a 2nd and 15. They've got less than 2 minutes left.
I don't know about in the end zone, but certainly downfield. I always say get the ball into a wide receiver who's on the move, not a hook route, but on the move that can run away from people.
Instead, it's right down the middle to the H-back Jordan, and he gains short yardage, and that keeps the clock ticking away. They have 2 timeouts. There'll be about a minute left when they snap the football.
You know, it's easy to say that, too, but if you look at the Dallas Cowboy defense, they have 3 guys lined up, you know, deep, 15, 20 yards down the field, so it's tough to throw it over them.
So he's going to throw again. Into the the flag, Larry. He gets out of bounds at the chain.
Oh, he's going to be short of the first down, though. Man. Boy. You know, so now you gotta run the ball probably to pick up the first down and waste an awful lot of time on the clock.
49 seconds remaining there now. It takes 2 scores.
Maybe you kick the field goal here.
And then the onside kick.
Yeah,
for the best.
Yeah. You need the 2 scores anyway. Why not go for the field goal attempt here?
4th down and a yard.
Just be what, 47 yards or so. I think at 57. I'm sorry.
Tip on 4th down. Will throw, and it bounces off the helmet of a Cowboy, and the ball will turn. That was Larry Brown. He's a little embarrassed here, but the ball goes over, and the game is, for all intents and purposes, over.
You know, he's just driving. He sees the play. He's looking at the receiver the whole way. I have actually seen balls get stuck in a guy's face mask once like that. Boom. Wow. Yeah, heck of a soccer player.
So these 2 teams will be 2-2 when the night's work is done. And next week, New England is at Phoenix, and the Giants are at Dallas.
You know, Dallas wins the game, but it's not one of those games Jimmy Johnson can feel real good about. I mean, his defense played pretty well, but his offense after those first 2 drives just didn't do much.
What are you going to do on the Stadium Show postgame tonight? Do you have anything special planned?
Well, actually, they're going to be got an interview with Bo Jackson's doctor.
Oh, that's right.
Which is kind of an interesting interview. I've seen pieces of it. He says some new information, as far as I'm concerned, about what Bo may well do.
And here's some other updates. We'll have some interviews for you. The Snake and Ernie Johnson Jr. are ready with all the highlights.
Well, Jimmy Johnson said this was going to be a playoff team. He said he'd be very disappointed if his team didn't get to the playoffs. They go to 2-2, but indeed he still has some riddles to get solved.
And we play out the string here. Phoenix doesn't bother with their timeouts. It would do no good anyway. Pretty good defensive effort by Dallas, though their offense outside of Emmitt Smith sort of sputtered, but they won the game, and that's all anybody will remember when the season is over. It is now final, 17-9. Dallas wins the game. 17-9, the final score. Jimmy Johnson and his team beat Joe Bugle and his. And we'll be back for a closing word from Phoenix right after this.
Well, the Redskins won a close one today after blowing out a few teams this season. They are clearly the class of the NFC East. And you see the Eagles. That's kind of a surprise. Jim McMahon has done a wonderful job there for the Eagles. That defense is going to cause a lot of problems for people. And everybody else bunched 2 for 2. This is a good division that'll be decided in December.
Okay, so tune in to TNT next Sunday. Pat and I travel to Minneapolis for the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. That's from the Metrodome, site of Super Bowl 26. Earlier today, the Broncos beat San Diego, and Minnesota was shut out by the Saints on the road. All gets underway at 7:30 Eastern with the Silver Bullet Stadium Show. And coming up next, the Stadium Show postgame. Fred Hickman and company bring you live interviews with the Cowboys and the Cardinals, complete updates from Week 4 of the NFL.
Take a look at the play again where they did not review this because they are correct in saying they can't rule down by contact, but let's go back to, was it a catch or not, and that is something that they can review.
Yeah, the question is whether or not does Kelvin Martin have possession before they ruled it down by contact. Now, it's been explained to us that you have to clearly demonstrate that you have possession of the ball. They also say that you have to have both feet down. You know, when you look at it in super slow-mo, he had both feet down when he's holding the ball right at his mid-chest. But when you look at that thing, I don't think he clearly demonstrated that he had possession of the football. That's a real iffy call. That's that gray area in the replay system.
Second and goal from the 7 as play resumes after the timeout, and Stout is chased and then throws the ball away. Backside pressure that time from A.J. Jimerson.
And what a halftime this guy is having. What a second half, rather. Maybe he had a great halftime, too, but something happened at halftime. A.J. Jimerson has been all over the field. Here he is playing a down position. Crashes inside the block of Rob Awald and then flushes Stout, doesn't lose his feet, and stays with him. A very active second half for this second-year linebacker from Norfolk State.
Third down, goal at the 70. 10 to go. Raiders up by 8. Stout throws it out into the flat to Blake.
Whoa! Jerry Robinson gets the license plate.
The field littered with Raiders. And Robinson the last to get up.
I understand why Ricky Blake has a few nicks on his body. I mean, he goes looking for a body to run into. Oh, Jerry Robertson is lost. No, he's lost. I mean, here's a guy that needs to get out of the game, and he is. What a collision between Ricky Blake and Jerry Robinson.
So it's 4th and goal, and Willis comes in to attempt another field goal. He's 3 for 3 tonight. The ball will be spotted at the 12. So this is an easy 22-yard chip shot. Novacek puts it down after a little bit of a juggle, and the kick is good. So that's 4 field goals for Willis. And Robinson is still trying to figure out what time zone this is.
Let's take a look at Blake again. He weighs 235 pounds, and he just hammered into Jerry Robinson looking for the end zone. And a violent collision. You heard it, and Jerry Robinson is being looked at on the sidelines.
The certainty of change.
His 13th year, and probably will play in more of a situational type of action this year, other than a starter.
Raiders up by 5 as Willis is kicked. He's taken in the end zone. He's been doing a nice job kicking off tonight. And Sam Grady brings it out to the 23. One bit of news we should catch you up on involves Marcus Allen of the Raiders. This was rumored to be happening, and it has. Marcus Allen and San Diego Charger cornerback Gil Byrd have sued their teams in federal court. They claim that antitrust violations have prevented them from winning more lucrative contracts. I say it's been rumored because there is a case that is due to come to trial in Minneapolis, you may be aware of, spearheaded by Freeman McNeil of the Jets and Don Mikowski of the Packers, among others. And that is scheduled, as I say, for February in Minneapolis. That is Bell stopped by Jeffcoat. The situation, as I understood it, was that the Raiders, Allen and Byrd and maybe other California-based players, as Jeffcoat comes off, would attempt to file suit, and that would supersede the other case. But apparently it will not. And the league issued a statement tonight basically saying this adds nothing to already pending litigation, and the league calls it a publicity stunt filed on the same day Allen and the Raiders play in a Monday night game. At the 23-yard line, it is 2nd down and 10. As Marinovich has it knocked away, but a flag is thrown and a penalty is coming up on Dan. Intended for Alexander.
I don't think there's any doubt of this call, even though the crowd hissed and booed.
Number 29, defense. Automatic first down.
He swings through. Dan's got
with his left hand tonight.
Well, he's playing an aggressive game.
Anyway, just to button up on the Allen situation as we look at the replay again, basically it all involves the fact that there is no free agency per se in the National Football League. In fact, Allen and Byrd in their suit are asking for triple the amount they would have received in a not so restricted market, as Bell picks up 4.
And wasn't it Allen who had a bit of a contract problem with the Raiders a year ago, signed for a 1-year contract, and just recently, without any fanfare, has signed for another 1-year contract at the same level. I think the triple, his contract, comes from I believe all antitrust violations have treble damages. If my antitrust law background serves me well.
Well, the interesting thing about this case, too, is they have sued their respective teams. But they blame the National Football League because the rules, of course, involve all 28 teams.
It's a curious action, suing your employer. If I filed suit against ABC, I wonder what the odds would be of me being here in the booth next week.
About 8 minutes. Let's watch Russell Maryland again, number 67. The #1 take in the draft, and spinning at the line of scrimmage. And, you know, Jimmy Johnson, when you talked to him about Maryland, the young man he recruited, and, of course, had at Miami for a year, says we don't expect great plays out of him. We expect steady plays. By the end of the game, you'll look at the stats, and he'll have made 4 or 5 tackles. He'll have caused a fumble. He would have recovered one, a couple of pressures, and that's what we expect from Russell Maryland.
3rd and 4. And the catch is made up at the 47 by Andrew Glover, and that's enough for a first down. The funny thing, as you mentioned, Frank, about the Maryland thing is that when you pick a guy #1 in the draft, especially if it's a quarterback or a running back, he's supposed to be a spectacular player, an impact player, a ticket-selling kind of guy. But Johnson is saying, exactly as you say, we want this guy to make the plays, to do things like keep linebackers from being slip-blocked and the rest. And that's the type of thing the fans almost never notice.
And really had to rotate him in the middle with Casillas, and you wonder about that when you take the first player in the entire draft and you plan on just kind of not great expectations, and you're also going to use him in a lot of rotations.
Here's Bell to the 49-yard line of the Cowboys. Brownlow makes the stop. 4:07 remaining. As the clock ticks down, and we'll be in Denver next Monday night. Mile High Stadium is the site. Dan Marino leads the Dolphins into town against the Broncos. 8 o'clock. And that's our final preseason game, and then our regular season begins on Labor Day night in New Jersey, where the New York Giants take on the San Francisco 49ers. Second and 7. Greg Bell. Hello. Met at the 50-yard line by Dixon Edwards, Michigan State rookie.
Dixon Edwards, a kid that has had a disappointing training camp. Didn't make a lot happen the first couple of weeks. Then the last week has really come on strong, and Jimmy Johnson very anxious to see him perform here tonight. He's been around the ball a lot. 2nd-round draft choice. You expect to see some things happen, and like a lot of the Cowboy linebackers, he's not a big guy. 6'1" and 220. Johnson doesn't go for the New York Giant type of big linebacker. He wants a more speedy, active guy.
3rd and 7. Marinovic shows enough mobility and then has the pass knocked down as the intended receiver was Greg Harrell. First time they've thrown his way tonight.
I can tell you that in college you might get away with that every now and then, but in the NFL it's going to be very difficult to roll one way, stop, and then on your heels falling backwards throw it all the way back across the field.
Exactly, and he almost lost this one.
There is #1 meeting #1,
and there is big 67, Russell Maryland, bearing Marinovich.
Called for at the 8-yard line, which is not where you want to call for a fair catch. When you're inside the 10, forget about calling for a fair catch. Kelvin Martin at the 9, and so the Cowboys start deep in their own territory, and a field goal is not going to help them here. 2:36 to go, and they're down by a handful. That's this Saturday on ABC. Stout has his pass dropped as Tommy Agee started to look around. Marcus Wilson covering on the play. 2:31 to go.
I guess it's time to summarize maybe a little bit what we've seen out of both of these clubs. Guys, we haven't seen the Dallas Cowboys in a long time. My assessment is obviously much better than they have been. I still think they're little maturity away from really being a serious playoff contender.
2nd and 10. And that's almost picked off as the pressure was put on.
Almost looking at what Jimmy Johnson did in Miami. Jimmy Johnson had a lot of great players, a lot of big name players offensively, but he was concentrated on defense, and that's what they did here a year ago. They got good defense. They were only 10th overall. They were 18th against the rush, 2nd against the pass. And then on offense, he got himself a good quarterback. He always had a good quarterback in Miami. And he's got a lot of speed. He believes in that. He believes it in linebackers. He believes it in receivers. So I don't think it's going to be a whole lot different, at least the direction he's going to take with the Cowboys than the direction he took with Miami.
3rd down and 10 from the 9-yard line as Stout dumps it over the middle, and look what I almost found, says Tom Benson. Weird looking play.
I don't think AWOL knew it was there. No, I think that's safe to say. It hit him right in the back of the helmet.
And he still almost intercepts it.
Pretty good delivery by Stout under a lot of pressure. He had 2 Raiders hanging on him and hits his own man in the back of the head. If AWOL would have turned around, he would have caught that thing. Watch this. There's one. Here comes the other. Cliff gets rid of that football and delivers a strike.
So now Saxon to kick. And remember, the Cowboys have already used 2 timeouts. They have only 1 left. There's a flag down as Saxon steps up to get it away. And it's fair caught at the 44 by Tim Brown, a 36-yard punt.
I think the Raiders were offsides. I think they got a head start.
That's a good move by Saxon. Even if they are, it's not enough for a first down. Saxon kicking out of his end zone. It's a beauty. And a fair catch made at the 44 by Brown. So after Martin had made that fair catch and the Cowboys were in a hole at the 9, they could not extricate themselves from that position or force the kick, and the Raiders take over and will try to run the clock out.
Well, we talked Raiders for a moment. Raiders, of course, they were beaten twice by Kansas City a year ago. Nevertheless, they won the division. They were 12-4, and we said earlier, in all probability, Bo Jackson will not be back. It's a team that's aging, but also a team with superstars that are still performing. You've got defensive linemen who are going to need a little rest this year. And you've got a quarterback who had coming off a good year, Jay Schrader.
Here's Bell. That's the kind of run you want to see when you're trying to run the clock out. A nice 7-yard move over the left side. That takes us to the 2-minute warning. A look at Jay Schrader. And the Raiders trying to hold on to a 5-point cushion.
I don't see a problem with those ages if those ages translate into quality.
Yep.
And when you talk about adding Roger Craig and talk about adding Ronnie Lott to your roster, you've added quality. They may be over 30, but you've added a rare quality to your football team. Not only talent on the field, but grade A citizens and inspirational leaders to the other guys down there.
Can't tell you how many thrills this guy has given us over the years. Ronnie Lott is now in his 11th season, leading all-time interceptor in the NFL today.
In a way, the move to get Lott and Craig, it's typically Raider, and yet in another sense, it is very atypically Raider, as Marinovich on 2nd down gives the ball to Bell, and the Cowboys take their final timeout. It's typical and atypical, and I'll have to get to it in a second because Kenny Wolf is counting me to a commercial.
He always is doing atypical.
Halfway house.
Yeah, you're right.
But with Lott and Craig, you're dealing with 2 guys who are very much and have been through their careers well above board. Model A citizens, as you say.
In a sense, Al, also atypical of the 49ers to not have a couple football players that you kind of get the impression, even though they were plan B and unprotected, 2 guys that I think Eddie DeBartolo and George Seifert would have wanted to have on their squad, and it's not often the 49ers don't have what they'd like to have. So it's a lot of unusual things in Craig and Lott ending up wearing the silver and black.
And the 2 teams will face each other in a regular season game in, I believe, the 4th weekend of the season. 4th or 5th.
That'll be fun.
Cowboys can't stop the clock. Gossett, the kick. Clock is running down, and they let it run all the way down to 1:05, and the play clock expires.
Let's see, the Raiders, what, twice this year? We've
had to be perfectly blunt. The ABC television network is not interested in losing the #2 television market on any Monday night, so it's tough to bring a game in there if you know you can't sell 90,000 seats. Into the end zone, that'll be a touchback, and so that's the reason the Raiders have not had a homers. Stout on first down, and he's got a man near midfield at the 45-yard line. It's Kelvin Martin, but the Cowboys without a timeout now, and the clock ticking down, and a field goal doesn't do them any good. Down by 5, 38 seconds to go. Stout over the middle, and again it's Martin to the 40-yard line. So the Raiders will give you the middle to protect the sidelines. The problem here, though, is the clock keeps on moving. Stout will down it.
Good move by Stout. He had receivers that were winded from 2 previous plays, consecutive plays without a huddle. His linemen also were puffing pretty heavy, so he kills the ball.
We can tell you the executive producer of ABC Sports is Jack O'Hara. Tonight's game produced by the Wolfman, Kenny Wolf, and directed by Craig Janoff. Joe Schavel, our technical director. Patrick McManus, our AD. Fred Kay and Kurt Pfluger. Assistants to the producer, Phil Lannis, Tony Versley, Lee Kalinsky, Tech Operations Manager. Steve Hurd, our Director of Information. George Hill, the stats. Malibu, Kelly Hayes, our spotter. Stout has it knocked down by Derek Crudup, intended for Alvin Harper. Second down and 10.
Stout still has the #1 lineup of receivers in there, including Alexander Wright. He is the 4.140 sprinter. With all the speed that they rave about here, Jimmy Johnson just flat said he's the fastest thing I've ever seen.
There he is. It is 3rd down and 10 because on the first down play, Stout downed it. Now the incompletion, 3rd and 10, 13 seconds, and 40 yards to go. 4-man rush. Going deep for that man, and it is knocked down as Dan Land comes over to knock it away. That man, Alexander Wright, to whom we just referred. There is the Raiders executive assistant, Al Locasal. Al has been with the Raiders for a number of years. He's been Al Davis's right-hand man. Has maintained a home in Oakland with his family through the years and has lived in a hotel for 9 years, and just this week he is moving into a house in El Segundo. In fact, it's Todd Christensen's old house.
I think the Raiders are going to stay. Al's moving into a house.
He did anything to save a broker's commission, I suppose.
What do you do, write a gossip column in L.A. or something? Do you know how he decorated it?
Yes, early rushing. And what figures to be the last play of the game almost turns into a Cowboy touchdown, but Derek Crudup with the interception as time runs out.
I mean, what's the motif there? I mean, is it furnished to your liking and everything?
4 bedrooms, 2.5 beds.
Rice in motion. Young back to throw it. Dumps it over the middle to John Taylor, incomplete.
Yeah, if you look at the 49ers the first half, there we got a little action. You know, if someone's going to be in, it's going to be Howie Long. And the other side is going to be Steve Wallace, too. But the 49ers haven't thrown the ball in the first half to Jerry Rice. They've only completed 1 pass to John Taylor for 6 yards. So if you say, why do the 49ers only have 3 points in the first half, that's a big reason.
2nd and 10. Young to throw down. Complete at the 45 to Mike Sherrard. And again, they go quickly. Out of timeouts, no huddle. 22-yard gain. Remember last week against the Rams just before the half. They tied the score. Young to throw it. Gets it out to Dexter Carter this time. For a gain of 9. Robinson on the stop. And again, they hustle up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 1. Young stops the clock with 16 seconds left to play.
See, this is tough because they used all their timeouts on defense down there trying to stop the Raiders, so they have to make this drive without any timeouts, and they need another completion and then get out of bounds to kick the field goal, or another completion, then stop the clock by throwing the ball down. You know, one of the things that a Ronnie Lott brings you is watching Mike Sherrard caught that pass. Now he's getting up. Ronnie Lott knows that he's